Noemi, are we live?
No, I just unmuted, I think. Um, can people in the Zoom sphere hear me? Is the volume going out?
Yep, I can hear you, Steve.
I didn't ask
Yes.
you.
We're good.
But
I'm
I
good.
can hear what you said, Steve.
Good. All right. I'm more interested in hearing from Charles and Tanya.
I can hear you.
All right, because Julio, you're later down on the agenda.
Where's
Can you hear me, Steve?
Where's this handsome?
Yes,
face?
Charles. Yes.
Thanks.
And Charles, it's great seeing you again. Haven't seen you in a few years.
My goodness, yes. Long time.
Julio, you are looking as good as this morning at the breakfast.
Ooh, hi, Julio.
Hello.
All right. All right. So we're going to start shortly. We're hoping for another couple of committee members to show up. So, but please bear with us. And Charles, you're first on the agenda.
Thank you. Umberto's going to share our screen, our presentation, I think. Umberto?
Yeah. Okay. All right. That's
Yes, sir.
That's good. We trust Umberto.
Thank you, Steve.
Okay. I see him. I don't see the program, but maybe I can do it. I don't know. Are you there, Umberto?
I'm here.
He's
Don't
there.
worry. I'll get it going. I'll just,
Okay.
yeah. I'll wait for them
I
to
think I
start the
can
meeting.
do it.
No, I got you. It's okay.
Better than board 2 on Monday. There you
No
go.
worries. We're good. We're good. Thank you.
Oh, good. So you've already tried out
So-
this presentation on another community board?
Well, I attempted to. I've done this presentation as it's evolved for a
Okay.
couple of years. But just to set the situation as far as DEP and the noise code, we had it was major overhaul in 2005.
All right,
And,
Charles, hold off. I want you to say that stuff on the record when we begin the meeting.
oh, sure, you're going to record, yeah.
Yeah. So hang on just a moment. Hopefully, we can begin in, maybe I'll give it 4 or 5 more minutes. Hoping that some more members show up.
Did you see?
Okay, sure.
Chris?
All right, thank you.
Hello, I can hear you. Hi.
Actually, four is the quorum though. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We have a quorum.
Oh,
Yeah, we have four.
1, 2, 3,
Do I
4,
count
5.
as a half?
No, you're a full person. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Yes,
5,
you're right. You're
Okay.
right.
All right, so we do have a quorum. So we're gonna begin this meeting now at 7:11 PM. We have, as usual, a pretty full agenda. And we're gonna begin with a presentation from DEP on its new noise decibel meter application. Want to thank Tanya Bonner from the Washington Heights Citywide Task Force on Noise for joining us tonight and for suggesting that we host this topic and make this presentation available to the general community.
You're not
So-
recording.
What's that?
Are you recording?
I don't know. Are we recording?
Doesn't say. It's not a sign.
They said what it says, the meeting is being recorded.
Oh, okay.
All right.
Oh,
I just want to reaffirm that noise is a very significant issue in this community. We generate at some points we generate the most noise complaints of any community board in the city. We've done that in the past. I'm not sure what our current record is, but in terms of the most recent report we just received from DEP on the most common complaints or service requests that are generated from this community board in the month of April, 3 of the 4 top complaints all involved noise. And during the summer times especially, we have persistent issues with people playing loud music and running their cars and up and down Broadway and other streets and running their creating a lot of noise just by
making donuts.
making donuts and just racing up and down and also running their amplified sound systems at huge volumes. So with that in mind, we certainly have a definite interest with the noise decibel meter application. And maybe I could just let Tanya say a few words at this point as well to put this in further context. Tanya, do you mind if I call upon you?
No, that's fine, Steve. Thank you so much. First, I just want to, thank Steve Simon and his committee, Health Environment Committee, have always been, very open to hearing the concerns of the community as it relates to noise and all other health issues. So thank you again, Steve, for giving us this forum. And to NYC DEP, I want to also thank you all because some of you may be aware, some may not be, but back in 2020, when we started this task force, NYC DEP was really the first city agency that responded to us and provided us a wonderful overview of the noise code and has been very supportive of community concerns and open to hearing those community concerns. So I just want to thank that agency for its continued support for what we've been trying to do. This all came about, we started this effort as a noise task force back in 2020 when we were at our end of our ropes, I guess. And we wanted to figure out how we can bring together community, city agencies and our elected officials to address issues of noise and how we can mitigate some of these continuing problems. And back then in 2021, we presented a list of recommendations after speaking with all of these different entities over a course of 9 months. And we came up with a list of recommendations. And one of those recommendations involves providing the community with a technology to be able to record noise issues in their community. And in this sense, I think DEP has responded to that request. and provided one way to do this. And so I'm really eager to hear about what this app can do and how residents can best use it to be able to record issues in their community and provide advocacy around that. Thank you.
All right, very good. All right, so now let's turn to our guest speaker, Charles Sturken, the Director of Environmental Compliance Outreach for the New York City Department of Environmental Protection. And he's joined by Umberto Galarza from the Community Affairs Division at DEP. I probably messed up his title. Charles, let me turn it over to you now.
Okay, Umberto, we're gonna put up the program, but as Tonya was mentioning, and very importantly, that we come before you, it's about health issues. And that's exactly the way when we overhauled the code, we approached the overhaul in 2005. It was a matter of health, which no one really considers noise on the health scale, but it actually helped us get this through. A lot of very influential institutions in the city that didn't want us to overhaul it, but we posed it as a matter of health, and we had experts back that up. And the unions backed us up on that because it was their workers, particularly in construction, who were the victims closest to the source of the noises, particularly in construction. Umberto, instead of going through the whole thing, I think everybody wants to hear the about the app. So we're down on slide 21. I won't, everybody knows we have noise. I don't want to go into the background. If you want me to, I will. So NYC Noise, as Ms. Bonner said, was a tool for citizens to download on their phones, to use, to help residents gain a deeper understanding of the city's noise. It's not as if there are many apps out there that you can register decibel levels. I think you've seen them. We don't advance any of them, in particular because we have different methods that we measure noise from very sophisticated instruments. Okay, so what this does is really a tool for the city to actually use citizens like the citizen complainants to register where they're hearing noise and what type of noise. And you document the time, location. So we then map it, right? And we can map it so then we can better use our resources. I mean, you didn't have to tell us, and I will say, Board 12 is not the board with the most complaints out of all the boards in Manhattan. I'll show you a slide coming up, but it is as of 2025. But this enables us to use resources, and as you may know, we are installing noise cameras in different parts of the city. And Umberto, we have them in Board 12, I think.
Sorry, we did have them. I have to check the current
Yeah,
status.
I think there are. I think there are.
Yeah.
We don't have the resources or the budget to install them. They're expensive. They pick up a lot of automotive noise, which I know I have family that lives up near Dykeman. And on a Sunday afternoon, I've been up there and you hear a lot of cars. So that's one noise. But this tool will allow us to measure and track it. So we can then see what the citywide patterns are. We know the boards in Manhattan want to, Board 12 comes in about, believe it or not, 7th or 8th in the overall complaints, the 311. The types of noise then that we get from the 311 calls are limited because a lot of people don't bother calling 311. They can get repeat calls to 311 all the time. And the average citizen doesn't understand that there's no end result for them because it's difficult sometimes. Mapping it here, we're better working with the NYPD, which is our first line of defense when it comes to noise in the community. And I will say that we do not have, we have resources of, let's say, 240 inspectors. We're not situated in every community board. That's why we rely on precincts. And the precincts are some of the, depending on the types of noise, that will be the first call that 311 routes the complaint to. So it's good that we have this app. It's more in the vein of we can better understand citywide where this is coming from and where we need to put the resources. It's not basically a tool to say, oh, I had this construction noise next to me 2 doors down, and I'm going to call 311 and to say to 311, the noise, the NYC noise registered a decibel level of 90 decibels. The standard is 85 decibels causes hearing problems. That after that, you know, you can damage your hearing. So this will enable us to work in those communities where we need to place the resources more. And for instance, in Staten Island, a very, you know, fairly suburban rural area, we're not getting complaints like this. But in urban environment, densely populated like Manhattan is, that's where we get the most complaints. So we're going to work with this tool, and we hope people will use it. And I hope, you know, the community board can spread the word on this, that we need the assistance. The more people use it and register what type of noise, what time of day, then we know where we can place our resources. And so that's the newest thing out of DEP. We have, by the way, the biggest complaint, believe it or not, in Board 12, can you go to that slide above 20, which shows all the community boards? Umberto, it's the one up from there. I don't know if you can hear me.
I can, sorry.
Yeah, number 20, the slide above this.
Let's see, sorry, I'm having a little trouble here.
Oh, I can put it up there.
There we go.
No,
No?
no.
No, I didn't get it yet.
A little stuck here. Hold on 1 second.
And while you're looking for it, I need to understand why there was only a monitor in our neighborhood. Why was it taken away?
Well, so it was a noise camera to be technical.
Okay.
Yeah.
Noise camera.
And I think what Umberto just showed is that it was up in early 2025.
Okay.
But I think we also had another one prior to that in Inwood for maybe it was also only up for about 6 months. But yeah, this is and actually this was also going to be. Oh, okay. Umberto was saying that the one that was up on 1469 St. Nicholas Avenue, which is somewhere north of 181st Street. He's saying it was up for all of 2025.
Okay.
We had oh shoot, I forget his. But we had Page. His last name is Page. Come before us. Mark Page Jr., I guess, who came to us
Yes.
some time ago about talking about this program, and at that point we had one of these cameras in Inwood, and based on what he was telling us, that they had to move them around, and of course we had an interest in seeing, as Osi just said, seeing it in our community in both Washington Heights and Inwood on a more regular basis. We made this one of our annual budget requests and for the FY 27 budget. And to my surprise, the response we got from DP was that you don't support that budget request. And Mark had told us that this was funding that you were hoping to obtain.
Umberto, do you have the background on that budget request?
No, I don't. We
Well,
have
yeah.
so our general response is we've been denied by OMB for further purchases, funding for this program for noise cameras. They are expensive. The issue is, and I know Charlie can talk about this a little bit later, but the issue is staffing. And you can have all the cameras you want, but you need staffing eyeballs to look at all the events, all the video recordings. That's part of the process.
So I believe the way that we phrased the budget request was that it wasn't just for the cameras. I think he also made that point to us. We also included a request for additional staffing to help run that program.
That's
So-
correct, Steve. You're absolutely right. And we did add, I believe, a few additional staffers. But even then, we're talking about the volume of videos, recordings that we receive is just overwhelming. So I know you guys have a lot of questions. I just want to bring it back to Charlie. I don't know if he wants to continue.
But
Steve?
I want
Yeah.
to just go back to what Tanya said. We had a camera and it was taken down.
Yes. Yeah, you had one at you had one in Inwood at some point. Maybe it was in 2024 when Mark Page Jr. first came to us. Well, maybe it was even earlier than that. And what Umberto was just pointing out, which I was unaware of, is that last year in 2025, we had one of these cameras at 1469 St. Nicholas Avenue.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
So as Tanya mentioned, 2020, I mean, there was a lot of quality of life issues going on. And as time passed, we thought about enforcement and technology and what else we can do to improve quality of life. The cameras is one area where we improved on, where we gained this technology. And we actually, Steve, Tanya's kind of right, that CB12 was one of the first community boards areas where we installed the camera, if I remember correctly, just to kind of get a sense or just to test. It was a pilot for one specific year. I think it was 2022. Now I'm forgetting, and please don't quote me on that. So yes, we did have a camera prior in CB12 prior to 1469 St. Nicholas Avenue. I was just providing you with information from last year.
right.
There's a final note, and I'm going to hand it over to Charlie. There's about 9 or 10 cameras citywide. All electeds want a camera. It's not possible to accommodate every single request. So if you as many cameras as you want, I'm pretty sure you want a few. You have a few locations in CB12, and I'm sure that it can help. We cannot accommodate. We try to install a camera in each borough in areas where they're hot spots, and we did do that in your community board at least twice from my recollection. So moving forward, we do want to satisfy and fulfill a lot of the requests we get from electeds. And I'm gonna hand it over to Charlie. Sorry.
No, but not yet, because Umberto, I would assume though that your position would be that you would support our request that you obtain additional funding so that you can satisfy all these requests from elected officials and community boards to have these cameras. I was, again, what I'm surprised by was the response that you were opposed to our request that you get additional funding for both the cameras and for the staff.
We're not a. Yeah, go ahead, Charlie. Is that you, Charlie? Sorry.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I'm not the budget person anymore. However, they are expensive. All electeds put in requests for them. We've gone the route of asking, the council members if they have discretionary funds to help out funding them. Where are we on that, Umberto? Do you know? I mean, other than that, generally, we would like more resources all over, inspections.
Okay, right.
Just as a matter of background, the Bureau and I don't want to get too much into the weeds, the bureau that does air and noise inspections are our general tax levy bureau. Other
Right,
than that, the rest
Right.
of DEP is funded
Right,
through
right.
the water revenues. And
Right,
so
right.
when it comes to cuts, budget cuts and reductions, which happens every year, and you know the situation
Yes.
this year,
Yeah.
that bureau gets hit more than any other.
Of course, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
All I would
unfortunate.
all that I would ask is that as we continue to make these budget requests and to try to support the work that you're doing, is that you know, which it's in furtherance of your mission, and it's I'm sure it's what you guys want to do. If you had the druthers, if you had more money, you would want to
want more.
do. You would want the cameras, you would want the staff. All I would ask is that when we submit these budget requests, that you answer it with a positive response. But so let's move on for a moment. Tanya's asking that you make the current slide bigger, so it's more easily
Yeah.
readable. And what I would ask is, I still don't quite understand the technicalities on this app. Can you run us through how do we actually pull down the app? Where do we find
Can
it?
you- Oh,
How do we install it on our phones or whatever? And once we make some kind of once we measure something, do we have to send it to somebody, or do you automatically get it? How does it work?
No, you go to your app store, depending on what phone you're using, and you and ask for NYC noise and search it, and it will be there. Has anybody done it? Tanya, have you? Yeah. Okay. And are you using it? Do you want to and how often do you use it, and what instances are you using it? Maybe you can explain to I have it on my phone.
Sure.
Everybody at DEP has it on their phone.
Sure. This is what it looks like. Right now, I have a good decibel level, I think. Well, no. Well, I'm talking, so it's high. But I have to admit, I haven't used it that often, but I have used it in particular circumstances with our plazas and recorded, and it tells you the decibel level, and it tells you what type of, and you can input what type of noise. It'll give you a listing once you click start. You click start, and then it'll give you the
Comes up.
type of, right, and it'll give you the choices. Sorry, yeah. So these kind of choices, I know people can see that. And it'll have everything from alarms, airplane noise, construction work, dogs barking, HVAC, helicopter, loud music, sirens, trains, traffic, horns, and other. And so you can choose a category, and you can record it, and it just tells you once you do that it will go straight. It goes straight to DEP.
Oh, okay. So there's no further action required by us. We don't have to send it. It automatically goes to DEP.
The data is recorded and mapped.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Oh, that's great. That's a nice feature.
And again, it's a tool. It's a tool for us to use, and then you can see the data too about where it's going in your.
So how do you use the tool?
Precinct.
How do you use the data?
Well, we use the data to see where it's coming in. I mean, the slide before, which we want to enlarge, are things that went through 311, right? And we use, I mean, these are specific instances where people called in. But for everyday use, if you're walking on the street and you hear, alarms, right? The ambulance is coming by or something, and somebody can just use the app and tell us, oh, there's alarms. Because, we get alarms and but there might be more complaints out there at a certain time of day. And if the app is used widely, we'll get a better picture of what's going on. This data up here in this slide are only what people took time to call the city on the 311 and may have had to wait online to do it. So in your hand, you have the ability to, give some data to the city, like, oh my gosh, this jackhammering in the street on Dykeman and Vermilion, or Nagel, there's trains on one side, and then there might be, loud music coming in from the other side.
Okay, but what is the action the DEP is taking? You got the data. Let's say there is like 300 reports on, I don't know, donuts, okay, on one particular street. What are you doing with that data?
Well, donuts are something that we do not track because it's not, DEP, these are the complaints all listed there. These are the complaints that DEP is responsible for. We don't do vehicle noise. That's an NY.
That's a bad example. You can take any of the examples on your list. What are you doing with the data once you have a large number of complaints? I want to finish my question, Steve.
Yeah, go ahead.
And I want to know, what is the mitigation plan? What's the plan? You found an issue, whichever one on your list, pick one. What's the mitigation plan?
Well, if people are using it and it's mapped, then we know, that there's valid resources to be expended up in board 12, let's say, or in different community boards 1, 2, and 3.
What are the
let's
resources?
say.
What is the plan?
It's to better understand the mapping of noise across the city.
Okay, but
But it doesn't help the health issues that you mentioned in the beginning. It doesn't help the health issues that we are suffering, and I'm sure other. What's the plan? What's the next step? How are we mitigating that? How are you guys? You're the professional, right? Tell us. What's the mitigation?
These are, it is a health issue, but these are enforcement issues. We do the enforcement, and we may go out. I mean, depending on the specific claim of a business or a residence, or what noise source there is, like construction. You'll see construction's a big complaint up in board 12, right?
Construction is today,
very
and
much
6
so.
months it's
And
gone.
And
We're talking about ongoing issues. Steve,
Don't minimize construction.
I'm not minimizing Steve, but I know you know exactly what I'm asking.
No.
Construction today for 6 months to a year, and it's gone.
Yes, I know, but they need to respond to construction.
I understand it, but I want to know
585 complaints. Okay,
what's the plan?
right.
well, the plan.
There isn't any plan. That's the problem. There
Well, the
isn't.
plan when we okay. So when we overhauled the noise code in 2005, there was no construction noise code in the city. We developed legislation, and we were the first in the country to have a comprehensive construction noise code. And it's very technical. There was nothing before except a complaint that said unreasonable noise. We defined all the elements of construction: early construction, late construction.
Okay, but Charles, let me get to the heart of what I think OC is pushing for. When you get these complaints, when you talk about it, tells you how to expend your resources. In simple terms, doesn't that mean that you're going to send out an inspector to verify the complaint? Aren't you going to, if you get a number of complaints about construction before and after hours, doesn't that then trigger an inspection by DEP when you talk about expending resources? Isn't that what you mean?
Yes, but then maybe our training based on the data coming in from the app.
Yeah,
we know the 311 data, but coming in from the app, then we have to, take some of our resources and do more training for construction noise elements. Construction noise is very technical. But I would hope that in general, that when people are sending you these various complaints, that it's going to lead to an inspection by DEP, so that you know where to send. When you talk about expending your resources, that's how you would expend your resources, sending out inspectors. And it would help us know, like, hey, we need more training in construction noise. All the elements in construction, jackhammers, generators, all of those things, electric nail blasters. They all have decibel levels. And
Yes.
we go out and test them if we get complaints and
Right.
say, hey, we have
Right.
complaints. Let's hear. We make them test it in front of us, and
Okay.
they register decibel levels. And if
Okay.
they pass, they pass. If they don't, they get a summons.
All right, well, that's good.
And we have the ability to stop the work as well.
That's also good.
There is something about increased use of the plaza for events based on having a camera there. So you have an agreement of increased noise events at Kiskia Plaza on Broadway and Dyckman was supposed to have a camera, and now there's no camera and there's no way of monitoring it. So we're screwed again in the community.
You're talking about the little plaza that is the open.
The plaza on Broadway.
It has events, right, Umberto?
Yes, yeah, yeah,
And they have music, right?
yes.
Yeah. So I have a question about that, and I'm sure you do have it, but the mayor's office of special events permits that, I assume, and the police have they have to have a broadcast permit, right?
Yeah, for
And
amplified sound.
And are the decibel levels, the limits put on the permit? They're supposed to have a decibel level limit. Okay. So against that, and I don't know what the limit is particularly on that permit, but
I don't think the permit specified decibel limits, but the but the
it
decibel
should. It's supposed to.
But I would be surprised. But aren't the decibel limits specified in the noise code?
They should have.
Well, if you exceed certain limits, yes, it's defined. If you're in a residence, it's one level that you can exceed, and then you're in for a violation. If it's heard on the street and measured, it's different between night and day. The decibel limits allowable over the ambient total noise. Yeah.
Well, actually, this is an issue which is also on our agenda to discuss a resolution dealing with noise in public plazas. Are there any other committee members with questions?
So going back to please, please renew your request for more resources and the cameras, and we'll see where this year takes us in this year's budget,
Yeah, absolutely. Well, we did submit a request for FY27, and that's the one that I was referring to earlier. We have another question?
It's piggybacking off of Kosi here. What is the concrete 5, 10, and 20-year plan to improve the quality of health due to an expected decline in hearing with the current way things are going? The second thing is, how is DEP categorizing the urgency and the timeline between the complaint and action?
Depending on the complaint. For instance, noise, loud music coming from a commercial establishment, either a noise or a store. These are citywide noise complaints. Noise or a store. If you call 311 and complain about loud music from a noise or a bar, that goes to the precinct right away. And the precinct is the first responder. Again, they're in the community. There's 36,000 officers, and they can respond there. What we do, for instance, on music complaints, we call it commercial music. We get that data overnight from 311. We actually look into the 311 data on they're coded on commercial music that goes to the NYPD. We take the data and if persons identify themselves to 311, we contact them. If they leave a contact number, we can only get them if they leave anonymous ones. We can't do anything with. So the first line of defense is the precinct, and then we take the data, contact the complainant if available, and we say, do you want us to come and do readings from your residence, right? Or they'll say, no, do it from the street. And then we have certain standards that measure from the street. And then in a residence, we measure 3 feet from an open window. We open the window, we go to the establishment and tell them to turn off the music. And then we tell them, we discuss with them complaints coming from the community in music. And then we'll tell them to turn on the music, and then we'll measure it against the background. And if they exceed from an apartment, if they exceed 7 to 10 decibels over the ambient noise, they'll sustain a violation for the business. And here is a slide that shows that this is the music one, commercial music. That's any music. It could be live, it could be recorded, coming from a business. And so we don't get all of them because a lot of people do not identify themselves when they call 311.
What's the fine for a violation, a noise violation from a restaurant? How much does that cost?
The first violation of music coming is $2,000. And commercial music heard in a residence, $2,000. It goes, second offense is $4,000, third offense is $6,000. And those were set by the city council. And 42 decibels was a change. We changed it. The standard used to be 45. We lowered it to 42 as the threshold, which it doesn't sound like a lot, but decibels are a mathematical formula. Like, it's not just hearing a little less, it's hearing like a magnitude of 10 less every decibels you go down or up 10 times. So we lowered the threshold to make it easier to get a violation. Actually, first violations to a business on this code number can get a 0 penalty if they remediate. They have to show to our satisfaction and to the court's satisfaction at oath that they made structural changes in how they are putting up their music. And we have tutorials about this. We'll discuss with businesses what they can do. But for instance, in a commercial music, a lot of people move into a place, they put up speakers and they'll hang it on a wall, right next to a wall, or fix it next to a wall. We'll go in and say, that's not good. You don't want any wall because noise travels up and around and all through a building. We would tell the person, if you suspend it or keep them off the floor, that will, mitigate the problem that you're having with the complainants. We also have, when we send letters or we'll contact them by phone if they've left their identification to 311, and we will offer them an arbitration, let's say a mediation. Every letter that goes out to the complainant will also suggest, if they want, to work with MEND, which is started by the Office of Nightlife. These are for nightlife businesses usually, and can be used for other things. And MEND with the NYPD and DEP, the NYPD and like the Mayor's Office of Nightlife will try to arbitrate between the business and the resident who's complaining and see if they can work out anything. If not, then we will engage enforcement personnel and ask them, do you want us to come to your residence? So first they can try to mediate it when we contact them. And then if not, we will come and do readings from their residence and work with the business to see if they'll, comply.
How many businesses receive violations and fine in our district last year, the entire year?
For all all
I'm
complaints?
sorry, I'm talking about noise coming from music, what do they call it?
Not many.
Music. Not, when you say not many, that's 200, 3,000, what's not
No.
many?
No, music, live music, there wasn't, there was only two. Remember, if they don't identify themselves, there's nothing we can do.
I'm
We
talking
don't- we
about the
don't respond.
establishment. How many establishments receive either a visit from you or a fine last year in our district?
I'll get the number of fines. Believe it or not, citywide on music, there's not a lot of violations issued on music. It's very hard to sustain, and you have to have the the ability to have us go into a residence or go on the street. We're only based on complaints. We don't generally go around the city taking noise readings. We don't do that. I'll get the number of violations for you. I don't have them here. Violations are in 12, but I'll give you all the violations in 12. As you see, the biggest complaint is construction.
Yeah. All right.
5 times everything.
The biggest complaint that ends up in your hopper at DEP. We have some in the Q&A. We have a bunch of questions.
Tanya?
Tanya has something. Go ahead, Tanya.
Yeah, I'm not going to hog all the time. I just wanted to make sure that I was able to ask these important questions. As we were talking, and I believe if people are going to use the app en masse, and I think that's going to be very important for us to get more accurate representation of the level and the issue of noise in our community, people are going to need to see, understand what the follow-up will be. They need to be able to see that there will be follow-up and that there will be enforcement, because what's happened with 311, people have 311 fatigue. They've been filing these 311 complaints and nothing ever changes. And I think, and this app is a new opportunity for people to have it be a more easier process for them to record the noise issues that are happening in their community. But I think in going back to OC's questions, I think it's going to be really important to have a clear understanding that the community will probably want to see what will be the follow-up from DEP, from NYPD, whoever will be involved, and what will be the enforcement once they give all this data, provide all this data to the app. That's my statement. But, and I had the same question OC had in terms of how many restaurants have been fined for noise in our community, because I think that is a very important question that needs to be answered. But different communities have different issues when it comes to noise. Okay, so I understand overall in New York City there might be different, people, what the hierarchy shows here on the chart. But different communities have different issues, and so how will DEP use the app to respond to specific chronic issues different communities have? Like maybe for us, it could be construction noise, but it also could be a lot of music noise, a lot of plaza issues that we're having, maybe that another community doesn't have, because for some reason our community had all of these public plazas in our residential communities that other communities don't have. So how will DEP
You're freezing up.
Oh, am I? Am I here?
Yeah.
So the more people use the app, particularly let's say Community Board 12, the more we'll have the data, and you can I presume you can get the data from us, and if compared to, you say, look, we have these many people using it. This is the map and the picture of Board 12, like let's say over 6 months. Don't you think we need, and you could bring it to the NYPD as well and say, bring it to the precinct council and say, here's the map of noise that people registered in Board 12. Don't you think, we should get better response? I mean, and I'm being critical of DEP, and you can use it again. You can use it against the city to say,
it must be a different way. It's not up to the individual to go to the precinct and ask what they're going to do about it. It's up to the government offices like DEP to go to precinct and said, hey, we have a problem here. How can we address it together? You know,
Well,
you're
but-
putting the responsibility on the individual resident to go to the precinct and get a response from the precinct. No, I'm sorry, this is completely wrong.
No,
Actually,
that's not,
you-
no,
consistent.
you're
You
not
guys-
right.
you-
That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is, if you look at the mapping of the data from the app and more people use it, let's say in Board 12, you can use it and say, here's the volume of incidences of noise. Here's the picture, right? And use it against DEP and NYPD and say, we need resources to help us somewhere in the community do more enforcement and more mitigation measures, you know?
Steve, am I still
Maybe
frozen?
don't, go ahead.
No,
Okay.
We can
no,
hear you.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
I
It-
had one
it-
last thing and I want to get it in before, we talked about back in 2020 when our task force first started working with city agencies and elected officials on this issue. What we asked for the noise code to be updated because, as you mentioned, it was done in 2005 when they had the major overhaul. But now we're in 2026 and we have new sources of noise with the open restaurants, other things that are happening. We have plazas, we have things that are new sources of noise that are not captured in the old version of the noise code that we currently have. We've been advocating to try to get this noise code updated to include these new sources of noise and to take another look at the decibel level and what's recommended based on what we know now in terms of science, things like that. Is that something that we could see in the future? What is it that we can do to push this along? Because, we've been asking about this for 6 years and hoping that this would happen because it's desperately needed. Thank you.
We are, good that you said that, because we are looking at different changes for the noise code for this legislative session. And we have some new technique. For instance, we just passed a noise monitoring rule that came into effect April 21st. The noise it applies, and it may apply more and more in from what I've seen in construction over in Inwood and the Heights with new buildings. So new buildings of 200,000 square feet or more, and if you're within 50 feet of a residence, as of April 21st, you must set up noise monitoring system for your construction. This is new. You will have noise monitors. We will read the data back in our offices, right? We'll be connected to the data. The developer is required to put up noise monitors at different points in the construction. And we will be able to read the data in real time as the noise monitoring
Bosses should do that.
construction period. And then we can see where there's an exceedance. And, we can go out there and respond quicker with the new system. So that just happened in the last 2 weeks. So that's one thing. We are looking at a series of other items to tweak in the noise code as well.
Charles, that last thing pertains to buildings of 200,000 square feet. In what proximity to other buildings, did you say?
50 feet of a residence.
Oh, okay. And then this is a new law that became effective on April the 1st.
Yes, and you'll have to,
Okay.
these are people who can't, they don't work within the hours of construction, which is 7 a.m. to 6 p.m. They're working on the weekends, which is a variance issued by the Department of Buildings. And if you have to file with us for review an alternative plan if you can't meet the standards. But if you're a building of a development of that size, new, you're going to have to put up noise monitors on your site, which we will read in real time. And then we can respond when we see it's getting too noisy. Yeah.
All right. I have a couple of hands up in the people attending via Zoom. Jennifer Bristol, you have a question?
Hi there. I just want to thank Steve, OC, and Tanya for organizing this. My question is, we're talking about establishments like the restaurant and construction, but I think for I live in Inwood, the biggest noise issue has been the public plaza on Dykeman and Broadway. And it's a mix of some of the restaurants who sort of run the nonprofit that oversees the plaza, in addition to New York City offering up the space for activations and big events. That is if we put in even if we use the app and we say, hey, this is way above decibels, do you guys have the capacity at that moment to come and inspect the situation? I think that's in our neighborhood one of the biggest challenges, because who's gonna be in charge of that unless you go there right then and there?
Yeah.
And thank you.
So that's why I was saying the first line of defense is the NYPD. The broadcast permit, there should have a decibel level. If not, I would ask the precinct, what's the decibel level you've issued? They have to have a broadcast permit to play music.
They always say they have a permit, no matter how loud it is.
Yeah.
They have to have one.
Yeah, but I think in our experience, I don't think, and maybe NYPD doesn't have decibel meters, or they don't really seem to pay that much attention to the decibel
that's
level.
They passed the buck. Let's be honest. The cops say it's not their issue, and you guys, which you seem lovely, say go to the police. And these are not things that are happening every day, every night. It's not like a restaurant that has a band every night. This is a random thing on a Saturday afternoon, and no one can handle the noise, and there's no one to help. You call the police and they say they have a permit and they don't have decibel readers. And some of those, some of those actors are there just for the day. They don't care what they do, and there's no
so this
consequence.
So on the plaza, it's random, not an organized event. It's a random.
It's both. There are permitted events
And commercial events.
and which have a commercial aspect, and there are also people who just seem to pop up there and take advantage of the space.
And are they broadcasting electronically?
Yes.
Yes.
That we can respond to. If it's not an organized event which has the police permit to broadcast, yes, we can look at those instances. Is it hit or miss, or is it like every Saturday afternoon? If we get like every Saturday or every Sunday, not within an organized event, and they're just using it to broadcast their own guitar playing, that we can respond to.
Okay, but even if it's an event that happens to have a permit and they're exceeding the allowable decibel levels, I would think that you should be able to take action in that case as well.
Yeah, we can monitor if a permit has the decibel level on it, then we have the ability to say, hey, the decibel level says 80, you're at 95. Then we can do that. We can issue on that.
Okay, well, I think we need you to talk to the police and explain to them what are the appropriate decibel levels that they should be putting on those permits. Because I don't think that's something you can just leave to the police. They may not understand the significance of those decibel levels. You're going to have to give them that guidance.
Because what happens, I've lived on Broadway and Dykeman my whole life, and there's a whole chain of restaurants and bars run one right after the other.
Yes.
And so they have events at the plaza to bring business to the restaurants, right? So it's a self-fulfilling thing.
Well, yeah.
They need to have loud events to bring customers to their restaurants. Now, if people made bad business decisions to put all these restaurants and bars right next to the other, that shouldn't be the community's problem. It's one bar and restaurant, the whole block and stuff, basically.
Yeah, well, it's at least a dozen of them. Let me call on Alan Gomberg. He also has a question or a comment. Alan?
Yes,
Uh,
hi. God, I have so many questions, but I presume I don't have many options. I presume there's a limit. So I guess my most important, first of all, I should say that I live in Community Board 4. I'm a member of this group, but I live in Hell's Kitchen.
Okay,
It's okay for me to speak.
okay, well, that really limits your time. I'm sorry, go ahead.
Okay, well, then I will leave it to one basic question.
Yes.
I was trying recently to find online regulations regarding noise and music on the DEP site. I went to the DEP site to try to find regulations regarding noise and music from restaurants and bars, including street dining. I could not find it. Where is it? And okay, so that's part one. And part two of the question will be, is there any way to directly contact someone at the DEP? Because I also tried to find a way to directly contact some information on how to directly contact an email address, a phone number, anything. Could not find it. And the police are useless. It has taken, on occasion, 23 hours. I am not exaggerating. I can prove it to you. For the police to respond to noise complaints. What use is that? So the only option is to contact DEP and say, you need to come back tomorrow. And if this is an ongoing problem, as it frequently is for me, you need to come back tomorrow night at such and such time. But there seems no way to do that now, or at least I can't.
Let's have Charles respond.
And it's the music complaints you're talking about on the string of restaurants?
Both music, but also, and this is probably not covered by the current noise statutes, and I wish it were, noise from street dining, which is often 6, 7 months a year. I have to live day after day with hours and hours of talking, which is not going to read loud, but is maddening. And I've lived where I lived since 1991. When I moved in here, this was not a problem. No one would have wanted to eat on the street at 43rd Street and 10th Avenue in 1991. But a couple of years later, it became a problem. It's a problem all over the neighborhood now.
Charlie,
it is not.
Sorry, Charlie, I'm going to stop sharing the screen. I'm going to go to DP website. Is that okay?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
I have a hospitality guide which has all the environmental rules and regulations for restaurants, which contains the noise codes as well, for that specific issue. You are correct. Unfortunately, people-to-people noise or people talking is not something that is in our code. There are mitigation methods for restaurants like umbrellas and the awnings. I think some of those restaurants on the strip have it, which will mitigate noise. Noise rises up, and their residences above. I think I've been there, and there are mitigation measures for them. But yeah, the general noise from just people eating and dining is not covered.
Okay. Oh, that's interesting. I didn't realize that. All right. So are you responding to his first question about where to find information on the?
Well, we can. I mean, this is the noise code and the penalty. There is a hospitality guide. I don't know. Can you?
After I'm reading this email, I need one.
Can you pull up Umberto, can you look up the hospitality? The hospitality guide is listed probably in the documents folder, but we'll send a bunch up there.
Okay, we wrote
that a number of years ago after the noise code changed.
Okay, well we probably could use them.
May I just say that I went to this page and I looked to download these things, and I went on the pages. I had spoken recently with Carl Wilson, who actually returned my email to the several CB4, several candidates for District 3, 3 of whom actually responded to me. about noise. He said certain things about noise violations. I don't want to take too much time, but when I looked at the guides that I could find on this page, clicking on those links, I couldn't find anything. So he told me things, and I can contact him again. Maybe he'll have more specific answers, but I did not find hospitality industry guide. That I did not find. So if there's, I will look for that. Hospitality industry guide. Okay. I had found regulations in the past when I did some searching, but this time that actually I could find helpful information on, but the most recent couple of times, nothing I found was helpful. It was just a lot of gobbledygook, frankly.
Okay. Well,
All
we
right,
will,
all right, well, this is apparently available on the DEP website, so, and I'm glad you raised
will-
that question, because
we
I
will
was
send, Steve, we will send you the link for it.
Okay, and I'll, Mr. Gomberg, if you, contact our office, we'll also, make sure that you get that link. If you,
Okay, so which office is that I should contact?
well, the Community Board 12, our phone number here is 212-568-8500. You could also email us at cb12m@cb.nyc.gov, and
That's
as
great.
long as,
Okay, I got it. I don't want to take any more time. Thank
okay,
you.
just don't tell people at Board 4 that we're stealing any of their people,
I won't, and I need to contact Board 4 more often about this myself, so that's
Yeah.
fine. Thank you. And
Well,
I see
yeah, well,
Board 4 is up there, actually among the highest boards in the city with
Yeah,
complaints. So thank
and Board 4 has a very good staff. You can feel free to call upon them.
Great.
All right, so I think I have I think I also had Maggie Clark wanting to ask a question. What happened to her?
Go back to the list. Marjorie.
There,
Yeah.
there.
She can talk, I think, right?
She should be able to talk, no?
Oh,
I had
yes.
to, I
Yeah,
had
you're
to click on unmute.
She's there.
Okay.
Yeah, go ahead, Maggie.
Okay,
Thanks to the chat.
so I have a lot to say here. Charles, you are equating things like talking noise with sanctioned 8-hour-long every weekend assaults that are over 85 decibels, which cause the community garden next door to not be able to have its own meetings or events. I don't think you understand the severity of the situation, and it's been going on for over 5 years, all summer. I hear it 4 blocks away in my apartment with my windows closed. Okay, that means thousands of people in the radius can hear it too. We're not talking about the kind of restaurant noise that an umbrella is going to do something about. They come in with stacks of speakers. Okay, there is they have nothing to prevent them from doing that. Their permit, I don't know what it says on the permit, but, and furthermore, that table that you were just showing, if you could show that again, the line which talks about loud music daytime, which had a total of 2 complaints. I mean, I myself call in more than that.
Well, if
And
it's,
I
as I-
identify myself. So that is total garbage. That
and it's music from the plaza, you're saying.
That is correct. This is
Okay.
from SAPO or whoever NYPD gives them permits. The police are always there in great numbers. And I
Yeah.
talk to them about it and I show them my decibel meter and they shrug and say, ask downtown.
Well, your
Wow.
complaints, maybe her complaints are being routed to NYPD, which is why
They are.
which is
Yes,
why they
they
don't
are.
show up on your chart. Is that what the issue is there?
They are, if it's a commercial, that's commercial music. They're playing music outside. Again, we're limited into that they have a broadcast permit from the NYPD, which should state the decibel limits that are permitted. And we can only measure against what was permitted in that document.
So
And if it
you can permit,
exceeds,
so a permit can be for over 85 decibels?
no, it shouldn't be for over 85 decibels
Oh,
because that's contrary to the code, because the the police cannot, plus the limits of the permit are time specific as well. Decibel levels and timing.
it goes on for 8 hours at a time, sometimes longer, all day long,
I'll have to talk to him.
for years.
And then
And there's no way to contact you. And the police are shrugging their shoulders.
Well,
I can hear it from 10 blocks
I
away.
will. When are they starting the events this summer?
They don't
I
tell
don't-
us in advance. They
Yeah,
don't tell us
yeah.
anything.
Yeah,
There's no schedule?
Yeah, no. Actually, that's one of the points of the resolution we're gonna take up later in this meeting, is to require that they publish a schedule so we know when these events are gonna take place.
Okay.
All righty.
Steve, can I say something real quick?
Well, I don't know, is Maggie, do you have something else?
Well, I think Charles was going to say something.
Oh, sorry.
Oh. Yeah, so just for my information, on the plaza, do they also have permits from the special events office downtown?
You mean Sapo?
Well, yeah, now it's the mayor's office
Yeah.
of special events.
Yeah.
They do. So has the board or anybody talking to Sapo about this? I mean, well, Tanya seems to say she does, yes?
Well, we have been in touch with Sapo in the past, and again, I think one of the reasons we're anxious to pass a resolution is to get greater detail and cooperation with them on handling these events at the plazas.
But the buck should stop with DEP, because Sapo and the police are not going to help us. You are
Well,
to enforce the noise law.
Hearing all the complaints, and I think we've sent inspectors out there before, have we not, Umberto? I think we had people going by either last summer or the summer before. I was involved with this for a little bit.
There's been a few, but I just want to remind, like, Steve has had these meetings before, and even Councilmember De La Rosa. These are organized events. There's an agreement with this plaza that does not involve DEP. We're here to discuss the noise codes. In overall, we do assist NYPD and 301 complaints. It is a complaint that I've heard about for some time, and Steve has mentioned this. I think I've attended one of his meetings that he had DOT here, who runs the plazas, and having NYPD as well discuss these issues. These complaints, as Charlie stated, just to reiterate, they do go to NYPD. NYPD is present. They do have the permit. DEP does not do sound permits. We do not have sound permits. We have talked to NYPD, particularly their community affairs office before about these issues. Charlie has brought this. I've had this conversation with Charlie before, and he has brought up our preference of having a decibel level stamped on that sound permit, so the promoter or the person in charge, the band or whoever is in charge of the sound system is aware that they cannot go over this limit. And also for NYPD who are present, or the responding officers, they usually have a patrol or two who respond to noise complaints, loud music, that they have this number to gauge how loud it is. And if it is going above that threshold, then their job is to discuss that, to bring that up to the manager, the promoter, whoever's in charge, and then tell them to lower it. That's generally, in a nutshell, how these events in the plazas work. But there's a lot of issues that I know that happen in these plazas, especially bands or people, you know, playing that are not with the organizers or not, you know, do not have sound permits. So I get that. Those things should be called, reported to 311 to have NYPD respond. And again, we do assist NYPD. We're happy to have a meeting with Steve and NYPD to see how we can assist, as Charlie was alluding to. I've had this issue in other districts, other community boards in Manhattan, where we have offered our expertise, where we say, okay, we'll have an inspector go out and just kind of gauge how loud the sound is from a band, from a, as Charlie mentioned, a sound reproduction device, whether it's a speaker or instruments with reproduction devices. And then we gauge and we see what pretty much should be the volume within this area, because every area is different, as one of you mentioned. There may be residential buildings next to it. There may not. There may be commercial strip, etc. So I just want everybody to be mindful that this is an organized.
Let me say something.
I had one question that was not answered.
That the public plazas are maintained by DOT and the special organizers who are taking ownership of it, and NYPD has a presence. So I just want to make sure that everybody's clear on that. All right. So thank you.
When do the events? Go ahead.
I tell you though, we need DEP though to tell us what is the allowable decibel limit that should be stamped on those permits by NYPD. We can't have NYPD just come up with that number. That's something that should be that should be a good number that's based on the science that only I think DEP could provide.
Steve, they're happy to have a meeting with you and the NYPD. How about that?
Yeah, well, we will attend. We can attend. We can send our chief.
Can you answer my question that wasn't answered, which was on that table that you were showing for a long period of time, there was a line in the middle, and I don't know why the person is not showing us that table, because I've mentioned it more than once now.
Oh, okay, Maggie will show the table. Calm down.
That's part of the guide that's up there now.
Oh, no, it was the other table that showed.
Yeah, no, I know. Yeah.
The point is that line said for loud music, daytime, it said a total of 2.
Yes.
Yeah.
As compared to hundreds for construction noise, which is ridiculous. I've called in more than 2 myself.
Okay, but as they explained, those complaints are being routed to
NYPD
and are being registered by NYPD, not by DEP.
More
well,
than that,
NYPD shrugs their shoulders. I mean, reporting to
I know.
NYPD.
That's a problem. That's a problem with how that system works.
Can I say one thing? I've gone to Woodstock. I go to Jazzmobile. I go to lots of live music events. None of them are 20 feet from people's windows. The plaza is right where people live.
Right.
That's the problem. It could be 2 blocks down in the park. It could be anywhere else. None of the music events I go to outside in the city are right in front of people's windows.
Yes.
Steve, can I say something, please? Can I say something, please?
No, but that is that is a crucial point that he's making. The problem is exacerbated because people live right on top of these plazas. Go ahead, Tanya.
Yeah, I was going to say, I think what is happening right now is there's a lot of frustration in this community about noise, right?
Yes.
But I also think that's why we did a meeting with DEP to understand the noise code all the way back in 2021. And I think there's need for continuing education about the noise code, who enforces what, whose job it is to enforce. And I understand it's not solving the problem, but I think I think it conflates the issue. NYPD, from what I understand, I had a permit for Haven Plaza for an event back in 2024. And the sound permit did include if I remember, a decibel level, a maximum decibel. It did
right?
on that permit.
Oh.
And so, and they're aware of that. But I think what we're going back to is the issue of what NYPD is not doing when they are aware that things are exceeding the decibel levels. And I
Yes.
think what a question to DEP is there a way for this app to also communicate the data that we're giving the app to the NYPD in real time? Is that a change that could be made or addition that could be made to the app so that not just DEP is getting this data, but also the NYPD is getting this data so that they are aware that there's a decibel level violation? Is there a way that that can be intertwined? I don't know what you
Well,
can do, you know.
if you're going to monitor it, let's say you do some decibel readings at the plaza, you know, or nearby or 15 feet away, or from a residence, right? And it's mapped, then we'll have the data. We'll share it in a discussion with NYPD and say, hey, you know, oh, your limits were X and you're X plus 20 or something
Okay, but
like
here's
that.
the thing.
But I'd like to have a
We need that in real time, though. And I think that's yes, you will have that discussion the next day or whatever with NYPD. But what people are speaking to is in real time. We need
Yeah.
NYPD to respond when there's
Okay.
violations of the decibel levels. And so that's what I'm saying. Is there a way where there could be some changes made to the app where NYPD is also getting these decibel readings? Because here's what happened. I'm going to show you very quickly. When I recorded a plaza event, this was Audubon. I recorded the event, and what happened? It was 89. The decibel reading was 94.87. And the average decibel reading was 89.23. This was in April of 18th. This was in Washington Heights at Audubon Plaza. And so I had to actually contact, after I logged this in your app, I had to actually contact and go into the 33rd precinct to inform them. And this happened to be an unpermitted event.
oh, well,
It wasn't
They
even
shouldn't have-
permitted. But I had to contact the 33rd. I had to do all this extra
Right.
work.
Yeah.
And so but is there a more seamless way
I
for
think
maybe
what
NYPD and DEP to work together when it comes to this? Is what I'm
Yeah,
trying
I
to
think
ask.
that's a good suggestion, since we have this big delay in contacting complainants about noise and we have to get an actual respondent. If the NYPD was reading it, our mapping or noise map in real time, they, being in the community, could respond quicker and
Yeah.
have some backup rather than just a 311 complaint. Well, I'd like to
Okay.
I don't know when your events start at the plaza, but maybe we
Well,
should try to have a meeting with
Yes.
our folks, NYPD, and some representative from the board.
Yes, yeah, I think that's a good suggestion. And we're trying to find out ourselves when those events are going to be scheduled. So let's stay in touch on this point, and let's try to pull something together.
Okay. One other thing.
I appreciate your willingness to do that. And if there is a way in which Tanya's suggestion is very good. I mean, if you're getting notified in real time of an event with loud high decibel readings, I would hope that somebody at DEP could quickly notify the precinct and ask them to respond to it.
Okay. So we'll be willing to have a representative, who deals with this a lot to discuss it with the board but if we know, if we know when these events are starting, now's the time to get out there quick and talk to them about the problem and let them know, we're watching.
But NYPD is standing there listening to the same noise and shrugging their shoulders.
Well,
Every time there are many NYPD people there.
All right. Okay. Well, let's see if we can turn that around. Okay. All right. Very good. All right. Well, I appreciate this discussion. Again, Tanya, thank you for suggesting that we do this. And I think Charles and Umberto, this may become an annual practice. We may want to do this every year to get ahead of these events and to just to bring us all up to speed on how things are working out in the district.
It's very
Uh,
sad if we'll meet it every year.
Well,
Very sad.
well,
Very sad.
no, it may be good. It may, it may be reinforcing the fact that we're making progress. All right, that's my hope.
Can I say one more final thing? I just want to thank again NYC DEP for working with us because believe it or not, your agency has been the most responsive of all the people that we have tried to work with over the last 6 years. So and coming here today to even tell us about this, doing this app. Yes, we need changes, but I want to also, when we bring people in to express, to be able to appreciate, that they have been really working with us and trying to address these issues. There's much more that needs to be done, but let's just start there, okay? Thank you.
Great. Okay, and I would ask the people who have joined tonight's meeting to talk about noise issues to hang on a little further because we are going to be discussing a resolution about noise at the public plazas. All right. Charles and Umberto, you're welcome to stay on as well if you wish for that discussion. In fact, something, if why don't I just bring it up now? Chris, Chris Nickel, can you hang on a little more?
I can hang on a little longer. I can't hang on much more than 15 or 20 minutes, though. I'm a farmer and I got to go to bed.
I'll tell you what then. Let me let's take care of your item and then we'll deal with the noise resolution right after you.
I appreciate you very much, Steve. Thank you.
All right. So for Chris Nickel, many of us remember him from a few years back when he was working for State Senator Robert Jackson, and then he went off and he bought the farm. Right, yeah. Let's hit the drums there. Then thank you, Raylan. So Chris started. It is a CSA? Is it not a community?
It is indeed. It is indeed. Are you able to give me sharing privileges? I'm happy to put a few things up briefly.
Yeah, we must be able to do that, right?
Yes.
You have control.
What do I hit?
Go to his name. Go to his name.
Where is he? Oh,
And then
the little thing. Yes, those three.
that's not his name. That's Marjorie.
Oh, wrong name. Rename, remove, report.
The promote
No.
banners and then
Well,
when you go to share screen it's to go to share screen and then allow everyone to share. Which is him. So just.
now he's a panelist.
He can request.
Chris, can you try to share the screen now?
No, 1 second. What is all this here?
It's below, it will say allow to share screen, in the share at the bottom right here. See this
We're
little
seeing it now.
Oh,
Yeah, I think we're good.
oh, great. Oh, thank God.
Good.
Okay, I didn't even know what I was doing. Okay,
No
very good.
worries. Thank you so much, Steve. It's such a pleasure to be with you all again, albeit wearing a very different hat than the last time I used to sit on these lovely meetings. And it's great to hear familiar voices and see familiar faces. I'm not going to take too much of your time. I want to update the committee on the farm project that my spouse and I have started called Seremos. Pictured here is our main vegetable field. And here you can see my spouse, Brenda, and myself. We are the co-founders of Seremos, and we are excited to be in deep community still with our friends and neighbors in northern Manhattan, even though our farm is now in the southern Catskills. So Finca Seremos is a farm that uses food to build community and networks of mutual aid by providing nutrient-dense, organically grown produce to CSA members in New York City and the Southern Catskills who have a wide range of income, including SNAP recipients, who value locally grown, culturally relevant food. So these are some pictures from our distribution site. As Steve mentioned, we have community-supported agriculture programs, so folks sign up for a share with us, a vegetable share, and for 24 weeks, they come and pick up their veggies every week. For the first 2 years of our farm, we've only had one site in Inwood, outside of Booney Coffee. on Broadway between 207 and Isham, 4961 Broadway. And I'll tease it right now, but the wind up here is we're opening a second site this year to increase access to folks in the community by serving the Washington Heights neighborhood as well. So here you can see some of our delicious veggies and herbs and some of our beautiful members. So our approach to farming can be summarized by these three categories: agroecological stewardship, cooperative labor, and community power. And you can read more about these on our website. Basically, we're trying to grow good food, treat our people right, and use that food to build power in the community. And our main community is still Northern Manhattan. And all of this is toward the collective liberation from systems of oppression. That's sort of the big picture of why we're doing this farm project, in addition to just getting good veggies to people. So this is just a brief overview of our sales channels. We've got CSA. We also sell to wholesale partners and who run food pantries. So we do values aligned wholesale. We have a couple farmers markets in the Catskills, and we do donate about 1,000 pounds of produce every year to mostly the Northern Manhattan community. We were a $100,000 farm last year. We're probably going to be a $150,000 farm this year if everything goes well. And that allows us to support two nearly full-time employees, which is also great. So how we make our food accessible. This is really important for, I think, the committee to understand. We participate in a program called CSA as a SNAP, and that is a federal GusNIT program, the Gus Schumacher Nutrition Incentive Program, that's facilitated by a farming center called Glenwood in Putnam County in the Hudson Valley. And that allows us to offer shares at 50% off for folks who use their EBT card to pay for their vegetables. And we still get the full value of the share. This is an amazing program. We are really excited to have about 25% of our members paying with their SNAP benefits. That's far higher than any other CSA in the entire region. We've really built our CSA around SNAP accessibility and making it easy for folks who use their benefits for things like fresh veggies. And we're really thrilled that Ray is in the room, who is one of our community ambassadors for the CSA as a SNAP program. We are so thrilled to be in community with Ray on this project. She's also going to be site managing the new site that I'm teasing for the Washington Heights location. And she's got some resources to pass around during the presentation if it's helpful, or right after.
You know that her real name is Ravelin, right?
Of course.
Yeah, I mean,
and she's a venerable former member of your committee, Steve.
Yes. Yeah, you know, we don't like to talk about that, but
That were your jokes.
So this is a great program that allows us to make food accessible to people who otherwise wouldn't get the quality of food that we're growing at the price point that they can afford. And the other way that we do that is by a sliding scale. So all this chart basically says is that if you need to come in at a lower price point, we also offer higher price points for folks of greater means to be able to basically subsidize your share in a kind of collective environment. So what this means for us as a farm is that we basically have an even pyramid where most people come in at the middle income level. Some people take the upper income, some people take the lower income, and some people go above and beyond as contributors because they have the means to do so, and that subsidizes solidarity shares that are less than half price. So it goes down to $0. Every year we have a few shares that we give folks who really want to be able to participate and aren't on SNAP and also can't afford anything for the share. So this
does any other CSA do something like this?
So we are inspired by two other CSAs. One is called Rocksteady that serves a few neighborhoods in Brooklyn, and the other is called the 607 CSA that also focuses mainly in Brooklyn. But it's not common, unfortunately. But it really works for us. I mean, as farmers, it's essentially like everybody's getting a middle income share, but for the people who are our members, it means the world to be able to access this produce at a price point that's affordable for them.
Especially since the price of produce is about to skyrocket.
Exactly. And we kept our prices the same this year, Ray. So we didn't raise prices at all. because we know people are struggling right now.
All right.
So
We gotta fix the spelling on accessible in a
oh
couple
yeah,
of places.
sorry, thanks for pointing that out.
Yeah, it's in a couple of places.
So the basic point here is mutual aid is solidarity, not charity. We have a literal mutual aid network on WhatsApp for our members, to bring people together, to find solutions to problems that don't rely on just one person. And we've seen really beautiful uses for this. We had, a lot of resource sharing around immigrant defense so far, which has been really important because we do have some folks in our CSA whose status makes them vulnerable. So being able to protect them and protect other people in the community has been a really beautiful thing to come out of the mutual aid chat. So I think, oops, sorry. One other thing I want to highlight about how we make our food accessible is that we provide a lot of programming to support folks in cooking. So we do recipe sharing. We also have the mutual aid network to connect people to pick up their shares if you can't make it one day, but you want to make sure that you get your veggies. Someone else might be able to pick it up for you. As I said before, immigrant defense, we have community events in the city and at the farm, and we also offer a lot of community resources, both from Brenda's work in education and from my work in government. And this shows in our attendance. We basically instituted the ability to substitute someone, to send someone in your stead to pick up your share for our SNAP recipients. And you can see how that attendance jumped from 45% to 75% last year. So we're really excited to also have really good retention. 80% of our people come back every year so far, which is great. We'll skip through this. This was just some nice things that people said about us. People really appreciate the mutual aid, the community aspect of it, the sort of organizing element to it. And we really resonate with that. We really appreciate that people see the work that we're putting in here. Again, we do a lot of donations. There are 3 community fridges in Upper Manhattan that we work with. So the Fort Fridge at Fort Washington and 181st, the People's Fridge outside of Word Up, and the St. Jude's Altagracia Fridge at 205th and 10th Avenue. Every week, one of our members will take the distribution that people didn't pick up and take it to the community fridge. And so we're always in contact with these community fridges to make sure that people are liking the produce we're putting out. Usually it's gone the same night, which I think speaks to both the quality of our produce and also the demand that people have for good food these days. Cool. So seremos at Word Up.
People have paid for the food, but they're not picking it up from you?
Yes. So some weeks, 24 weeks is a long commitment, Steve. Some weeks you're not going to be able to make it.
I see.
And so we always bring more produce than we need as well, because one of the things I didn't mention is we don't do a box the way most CSAs do. We lay all our produce out and you get to pick how many items your share entitles you to. So let's say you have a full share, in July, you'll get 10 items that week and you pick what those 10 items are. So we bring more than we need so that folks can take pretty much what they want.
Okay.
And so we always have some left over that we can move to these fridges.
Okay.
So this year we're not just donating to the fridge at Word Up, we're also going to have a site for distribution outside of Word Up. And so we're really excited to be able to expand our reach down to the Heights. And so we'll have both the Booney Inwood site, which is almost full, but we have a lot of space for CSA shares, especially folks who use their SNAP benefits, at the Word Up bookstore site that Reblin is going to be managing. So please tell your friends and neighbors, if you yourselves receive SNAP benefits, we'd love to be able to provide you with vegetables. And if you want to take advantage of our sliding scale as well, that's definitely available too. Cool. So I just wanted to provide those updates and see if anybody had any questions.
Yeah, I'm just amazed at this whole thing and how you're able to do this,
Thank you so much.
and to work this thing out and at a sliding scale so it fits different people's budgets. I've never heard of that. I didn't know that anyone else was even doing it, but the fact that you're doing it is really is really a big plus.
Tony's mic is on.
What? Chris, we can hear you.
Oh, that wasn't me.
Oh, okay, sorry. I have
Thank
a
you,
question.
Steve,
I have
for
two
the kind
questions.
words.
I have two questions. Do you get a grant from, I don't know if Department of Health will do anything like that, but do you get grants from somewhere?
Some of our wholesale is supported by grant funding from New York State. It's called New York Food for New York Families. That program has now ended though. So the other grant that we get is from a grant called the Food Sovereignty Fund. But those are basically for us to wholesale produce to food pantries, and then the food pantries distribute them. Our CSA is not currently supported by any grants. It really just, the model works on the sliding scale. And we are actually, we're a third-year farm. We paid ourselves a decent wage, not great. It still was below minimum wage, but we paid ourselves last year, and we anticipate being able to pay ourselves enough to live on this year.
Okay.
So it works for us.
Okay. My second question, and I don't know if you can answer that. Do you know do you collect data of how many participants has pets that need pet food?
I don't, but the answer anecdotally is a lot. And we often hear about it because people will prepare some of our food and share it with their pets.
No, there is a pet pantry in the Bronx, and so I'm thinking about events. Maybe I can try to bring them here, but that's why I need data. I can't just,
Got it.
You can't just say, hey, I really want food for, pet owners that cannot afford food in Inwood, Washington Heights. I need
Yeah.
data, so.
Or maybe when we open up, when Word Up is set up and I'll be there, we could do a questionnaire with people passing by.
That's a good idea.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And as you mentioned health, I didn't mention this in the presentation, but we've had members. We had about 105, 110 members last year. And we've had several folks say that our food and the connection that our community provides for the food, like, it's changed people's lives. Like, people are in remission from eating disorders because of our food, and people have cured diagnoses of diabetes with our vegetables. So, like, the power for you all to understand of, like, the Health and Environment Committee is, like, if you pair the food with community, really exciting things can happen that are, like, transformative.
Any other questions?
As an interested, may I?
Senior fees?
I'm sorry?
Fees for seniors?
Can I ask you a question, Steve?
Yeah, who is this?
It's Charles from DEP.
Oh, yeah.
I guess it's a fascinating program you have there. I'm always interested in farming and food. But are you in the watershed? In the city's
We're
watershed?
just
in
outside.
Catskills? You're just outside.
Yeah, we're in
South. You're
it's
south
in,
of it.
yeah, exactly. Calhoun Center. It's on the western
Oh,
side
okay.
of Sullivan
Yeah.
County, so we're just outside the park.
Oh, too bad, because
I know.
there is money up
I
there. 'cause
know.
DEP supports the farmers up there in the watershed a lot
I
through
know.
different organizations. Yeah.
Yeah, we're looped in with the WAG, the Watershed Ag Council.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they're good people up here. We appreciate all
yeah.
they do. Yeah.
All
And
right,
Bennett, did you have a
thank you.
question?
Is there a fee for seniors? Do you have a senior fee?
We don't, but we'd encourage you to look at the sliding scale, because in our description, we talk about, like, hey, if you're on fixed income, you might consider coming in at the lower income price because it's more affordable. That is something that we have. We have a number of members who are older who take advantage of that part of the sliding scale because, yeah, they're on.
Sounds
fixed
very
income.
good, Chris. Sounds
Yeah.
very good.
Yeah.
And with that sliding scale, would you also encourage veterans and people with disabilities also to look at that sliding scale?
Yes, all of that is kind of built into the language, and we don't ask any questions about it. We just ask that folks read and reflect on it, and we don't means test. Like, we don't ask for any documentation. We just trust that folks are going to come in where they need to come in to make the access possible for themselves.
And when did you say that your starting up this season at both of the sites?
Well, our first distribution is going to be May 28th, so 3 weeks from now. And we've got some beautiful lettuce in the field that I was just looking at today. We've got some kale and chard that'll be ready by then. Some scallions are coming up. We'll have some herbs. It'll be like a lot of leafy greens for the first few weeks, and hopefully some fruit from a fellow farmer who does fruit, although the April freeze really set a lot of fruit farmers back. So you all may not be seeing as much fruit as you're used to this year.
Okay, any other questions? All right, well, thank you, Chris, and good luck to you, and
Thank you so much.
and I'm sorry, so the days that you're there, May 28th, what day of the week is that?
It's every Thursday from 3:30 to 6:30 through November 5th.
On the flyer, Steve,
Oh.
We don't have it.
here, take it, because I.
Okay, it's 3:30 to 6:30. Okay, very good.
7 Facebook groups.
You've already posted it on 7 Facebook groups
Yes.
while you're sitting here, so you're supposed to be paying attention to our meeting?
Steve,
good.
health and environment,
Okay.
efficiency,
Okay.
environment.
Very good,
One
okay.
question for Chris.
Oh, no, you can ask him a question at any.
No, this is for everybody.
Oh.
Like, is there a limit to how many people can, because, you know, the farm is only so big.
It's true. We're going to cap it at 150 this year, and we're probably at 105 right now. So in the next 3 weeks, we're probably going to fill up. And then if we don't, it's walk-ups. Usually within 2 weeks of the first distribution, we're full up because people just walk up and are like, what is this? And they sign up and we're full. So, yeah.
All right, so after that, there's no opportunity for people to just walk up and you have to have a long-term subscription. You can't just
Exactly.
you can't just walk up and buy produce.
I mean, after everybody collects, if there's surplus, then you can, what goes into the community fridges.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, if I see you walking along and eating kale all the time, now I'm gonna know why.
Yeah.
You know, yeah. Well, good. You're one of the few. Okay. Maggie, you have a question or a comment?
Yeah, just very quickly. If you become really successful, even more so than you are you in a position to expand the farm so that you can have more shares?
We are. Thank you, Maggie. We ultimately hope to be able to top out at about 300 or 350 shares. And we've got a really great arrangement with our current landowners that will hopefully be like a forever home. But if not, we've got a lot of other possibilities for land access in the community that we've built out here in Sullivan County. So we feel pretty optimistic about being able to meet that goal.
Great.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Yeah.
All right. All right. Well, thank you, Chris, and good luck to you. And hope this is a great growing season for you.
Thank you all.
Wait for good weather.
Yeah, right. And I hope the fruits come in. Okay.
The resolution?
Yeah, let's go to the resolution. I think both Charles and Umberto have stayed with us. I appreciate that. So we have a resolution. We actually tried passing this resolution a year ago, and it failed, I think, by 1 vote in the community board. Some people back then, I think, thought we were being too strict. But it's let me quickly read it. Just read it. It's Community Board 12 of Manhattan, covering Marcy Knights and Inwood, is home to several public plazas intended to serve as communal gathering spaces for residents of all ages, providing a significant amenity to the community. And whereas residents, particularly those living near public plazas, have raised concerns for years about unreasonable noise caused especially by permitted and unpermitted amplified sound events that negatively impact their basic quality of life, including rest and sleep. And whereas on May 5th, 2025, the Community Board 12 Health and Environment and Traffic and Transportation Committees held a joint public hearing at the request of the Washington Heights Inwood Task Force on Noise to hear community concerns regarding noise, particularly stemming from activities at plazas such as Plaza de las Americas on West 175th Street and Quisqueya Plaza on Dyckman Street. And whereas residents testified that back-to-back events on weekends, often involving long hours of amplified music, are particularly disruptive and that they are usually unaware of scheduled events ahead of time. And whereas community members emphasize the lack of timely public notice and the lack of enforcement when events exceed permitted hours and allowable sound levels, left them with no recourse or reprieve. And whereas public plazas are being treated by some as de facto concert venues with events that often go beyond their permitted use and timeframes, and whereas residents pointed to the problem of older buildings in the district, which often lack soundproof windows, making them more vulnerable to sustained noise exposure, and raised concerns about the potential health impacts of prolonged noise pollution in their homes. And whereas the Street Activity Permit Office or the Department of Transportation do not require publicly posted notices at the plazas in advance of scheduled events, thereby limiting residents' ability to prepare for or attend those events. And whereas the community has requested reasonable and actionable solutions, including restrictions on scheduling and time limits, the posting of upcoming event notices at plazas, and more robust enforcement by NYPD and SAPO to ensure a fair and healthy balance between public use and residential peace. And whereas Community Board 12 supports the right of all residents to enjoy public spaces, plazas included, free from unreasonable noise and without compromising their health or quality of life, and wishes to see the plazas function as a benefit to the community. Now, therefore, be it resolved, Community Board 12 Manhattan calls upon the Street Activity Permit Office and the Department of Transportation to provide advance notice of all permitted events at public plazas to Community Board 12 and require that the event organizers notify the surrounding community. Next, prohibit the scheduling of back-to-back permitted events, especially on weekends. That is, not allowing both Saturday and Sunday to be permitted in the same weekend. Limit permitted amplified sound at public plaza events to a maximum of 4 consecutive hours per day. Ensure that no permitted events with amplified sound extend beyond 8 p.m. on weekdays and 9 p.m. on weekends, and require bulletin boards or other visible signage at all public plazas where the rules regarding permitted events are always posted and notices of upcoming events are posted at least 1 week in advance. And be it further resolved, Community Board 12 Manhattan calls upon the NYPD 33rd and 34th precincts, the Department of Transportation, and the Department of Environmental Protection to enforce the time limits and sound restrictions at all events at public plazas, including ensuring permitted events conclude on time and that unauthorized events are addressed promptly and effectively, and monitor recurring noise complaints and take appropriate action against repeat offenders. And be it further resolved, Community Board 12 Manhattan urges the City of New York to explore instituting noise mitigation incentive programs for older residential buildings affected by sustained noise from outside sources, including retrofitting windows or soundproofing. And so this is basically the same resolution that we offered a year ago that did not pass the community board. It was presented to the Traffic and Transportation Committee on Monday night. They voted in favor of it. However, there were 5 votes in favor and there were 4 abstentions. We then suggested, based on the discussion at Traffic and Transportation, that Public Safety also consider this resolution because it does make reference to the precincts. And last night, that committee apparently had such problems with this resolution that they did not vote on it. And what the chair tells me is that if there had been a vote, it probably would have been opposed because they were particularly concerned about our asking the precincts to be involved with enforcing the time limits and sound restrictions at the events. So I think that poses a dilemma for us. as to how we now want to proceed, because you know, it could very well, you know, we could very well find ourselves in a similar situation as we were a year ago.
Well, I think that some people may be stuck on the defund the police thing. And we really have to move on from that. It was a disaster then, and it will be a disaster if this continue on. And so we need to look at that as if we are ourselves living in those plazas. Maybe some of us are. I don't know, but you are.
Yes.
But we have, each and every one of us have to think about how would we react if we were living next to or right there in those plazas. This is how personal it is, because if I'm 7 or 10 blocks away and I hear it, I can't imagine what everyone else, those that live right above the establishment and right next to those plazas, how they, you know, how they feel. And we should really invite people from our community board to go to those plazas at the time that they have the event running and see that, or hear that, I should say, for themselves.
Use the app.
Yeah.
So this is not about, oh, I like to go out and dance until 4 a.m. This is great. You go ahead and do that. But it's respect to other people in the community that don't go and or don't feel like that weekend to go and dance in the street until 4 a.m. or whatever it is too. I'm just giving it as an example. Okay. So it's a consideration for other members of the community that respect those plazas with the events, but they should be respected by, you know, just by the fact that they are part of the community and they don't want to be part of it.
Let me just read the email I got today from Heidi Guzman, the chair of the Public Safety Committee. I just wanted to provide an update on this resolution after last night's public safety meeting. This committee had serious concerns with the resolution as a whole, and especially opposed the resolve clause calling on greater enforcement by the NYPD. The committee did not vote on the resolution. Even if we had, the vote would have been nearly or totally unanimous in opposition. The committee did support some parts of the resolution, namely one, calling for set and time to noise, and consensus formed around that time being 9 p.m. as opposed to 8 p.m. 2, requiring advance notice and signage about events. 3, calling for the city to explore noise mitigation programs. We assumed that amending the resolution to reflect just these portions, which our committee agreed with, would not be friendly amendments and would be procedurally complicated since it apparently passed in TNT. I don't know, I tell you, I tell you, Charles or Umberto, do you have anything that you might want to comment on with respect to that resolution?
Well, I just think it took care of a lot of issues that were brought up tonight by your members. Yeah, particularly the decibel levels.
Yeah,
issue.
Right.
Would it be helpful to
well,
add the decibel level to the application?
Yeah, I think maybe we need to
That would be helpful.
spell out, although Tanya says the decibel level was on the permit that she obtained, but I would like to
Make it uniform.
yeah, I would like to make that clear in the resolution that the permits issued by PD
Should all,
should have the decibel limit
all-
specified, and if it's okay with DP, that they should stipulate that decibel limit in consultation with DEP.
Maybe amending the NYPD element, meaning like instead of saying like have NYPD enforcement, but like say the community affairs or the NCO departments within every precinct to do
Yeah.
trainings
Yeah.
related to noise.
Yeah.
Like training is
Well,
not enforcement.
Yeah.
That's
Well, I
the
mean,
problem.
but you know, it's just that I'm just saying like,
Education.
You want
it's
to
more-
soften the language, I get that,
Yeah.
but.
Yeah.
But
I mean, I'm just saying like just trying to, so that way, because you want NYPD involvement, but which
Yeah.
part of the NYPD?
Right. I tell you, I would
Well, I'm waiting for it.
go ahead.
Okay, so a couple of things about the rest. So I actually would have voted against it if we put it to a vote in this committee for a different reason. You know, it makes sense to think that like no event in consecutive night during the weekend and all that, that makes sense. But by the same token, when we look around, especially during the summer, we are trying to, as a community, as a whole community, to have people out, to have some events. It's not so much the event, but how the event is carried on. And to put the restriction on that is really limit one, what the vibrancy of the city is in so many levels. I asked for the record, in my building, we had a monumental issue with noise. We last one were at the park department committee. We keep working with park, with the Riverside Park Conservancy, because it is unbelievable. I hear the noise as it is in my apartment at 2 o'clock in the morning. So it's not that I'm coming from a place so I can't hear anything. And the park is, kind of far somehow in front of us. Also, it's right in front of us. But to put limit as to how many events during in any given weekend, it is true that it's not going to fly, because in some level, those also are seen as community building events. Today, I hear one of our elected officials to really embrace the idea of using our plaza as an expression of culture and community and having a good time and all of that. So in some level, we have to figure it out. I think it's a matter of schedule probably that we need to look at, rather than, 1 week yes, 1 week no, but hours during the weekends or whatever the days are. The other piece is there is a lot to be put on the resident prepare, that we need to be informed in advance to prepare. Prepare how? Leave for the weekend?
Yeah.
Some,
Something for the weekend.
yeah, some people might want to do that. Some people may
want to do
they
that.
may want to do that.
About those who don't have the luxury to do that.
No, then they at least know about the event.
Right.
They at least can attend the event.
Right.
You're not even letting people know in advance that they can go to the event because they don't know about it. So it works both ways. And that's what the resolution says, that they can either prepare for the event in whatever way they want. Maybe, and if they know the event is gonna end at 8 o'clock, they know that they can go back home at 8 o'clock, and they won't have that noise to contend with.
It's good to know, I would love to know when someone is doing a quinceañera party down
Yeah,
at the park, or whatever the party is, in which they give out prizes at 2 o'clock in the morning, but that still doesn't help me to really prepare, because also I live in a pre-war or whatever kind of building is that have zero insulation, so I can hear everything regardless.
Right.
The other piece is, it's only addresses public spaces, but some of this noise also come from just people, public spaces, but people in the park. And I think the spaces should be better defined what is a public space, because the sidewalk of the restaurant for which they are paying the permit to be able to use it, would they consider that a public space? So I think we have to be a little bit more organic when we define those kind of things. Then to have exclusively mentioned Plaza de las Americas, I think we should think about what other locations. I know that in this particular case, that is the main issue. But for instance, if you go any given Saturday or Sunday to 157 on Broadway, right outside the train station, that is a party.
Well, maybe this resolution should actually mention all the plazas. I think there are 5 or 6 of them.
I think there are 5, but I'm not 100% sure.
Yeah, I agree. We should.
Just plazas in general, so.
Well, we should mention.
Don't mention all the names.
No, mention the names. People should know where what this resolution applies to. This resolution was drafted, Darley, particularly about the public plazas. That's a particular issue that has a particular aspect to it. So we're not talking about noise problems in general. We're focusing on these plazas where where there are particular agencies that are involved and a particular requirement that is supposed to be met. But we probably shouldn't just mention Plaza de las Americas and Quisqueya, because there are most of the complaints may be generated by those two. But as Tanya just mentioned earlier, there apparently there have also been issues with this plaza right next to us here on
So
Audubon Avenue.
either mention all the names, but which I'm concerned about mentioning the names as opposed to generalize this plazas, because
Well,
tomorrow, if there will be a new plaza somewhere,
Exactly.
then it's not in the resolution now.
well,
So,
but at least the people will know at this point, well,
That
well,
makes it, that makes
which
it very.
which plazas which plazas we're addressing.
Give our open statement like you mentioned,
Including but not
including
limited to.
the new one was.
Oh, well, we could say including any future
sure,
plazas
future plazas,
that might be created.
okay.
Yeah, we could say that, yes.
But I also think that we need to work with, or at least consult with our elected official to see what is the vision that they have for these communal spaces. So we are not fighting a fight that is no more fighting, but that we are all working together. It's really is about community building. And when we address this issue, what are the other things that has to be considered? Because believe me, I understand that I am front row every weekend ticket to party time, regardless of how we feel, regardless when we go, how we close the window. I can leave every weekend my house because there is a crazy party.
Well, no, that's, well, but you're the kind of person that we're trying to help with this resolution.
But the help is not for me to know 2 or 3 weeks or whatever the time limit in advance is. It really is reinforcement, and that there is a set of rules that are followed, because if there is a party that ends at 10 p.m., which is a reasonable time, fine. I will, I don't know, do something to just bear it.
But for some people, it's helpful, they felt that it's helpful.
I'm not saying that is not, what I'm trying to convey here is that the rule of in advance and then you figure out what to do with that is neither here nor there, because at the end of the day, we were really in charge about enforcement.
Well, that's part.
This is not enforcement.
Well, we're dealing with multiple aspects of the problem.
Right.
We're certainly talking about enforcement, but we're also suggesting that advance notice would be helpful. People would like to know that something is actually happening in front of their windows.
Inwood, there's plenty of park space that could be used instead of in front of people's windows.
And that's too sometimes in front of people's window.
But that end up in people's window.
No.
I get it, but it's so for those that I remember for the last 5 or whatever, 7 years, that, some people, people really wanted to know, so at least they could decide, all right, I can do something or not do anything, but I want to know that when it's.
Yeah.
Can I bring up a point?
Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead, Maggie.
The Riverside Inwood Neighborhood Garden has been on one side of this plaza since 1990. And we have community events, or we try to, but we can't often because of the noise. We can't predict when it's going to happen. It takes a number of weeks to get permits. They should know weeks in advance. And by the way, we need to get permits too sometimes, and we need to know when to get those permits, and we need to have the extra weeks in order to do that. So this idea of 1 week notice of an event doesn't work in terms of, the amount of time they need to get permits and we need to get permits.
No, what we're saying 1 week in advance is that they should be notifying the community or the public at least 1 week in advance of the events.
But that doesn't help because we can't get a permit with that kind of notice.
No, but it's not the permitting, for the general public.
Yeah. What we need is
Why don't we get as much respect as the people who live on the other side of the street?
Well, what we need to do is we need to get the complete schedule of events, and we can provide it to you if it's not being given to you as well. You should know well in advance what's being planned for the plaza. I agree with you, but this is just a suggestion on what should be posted, like on the bulletin board, or what notices should go out into the community at least 1 week in advance, so that the general public should know what's happening. But
The other-
you're sort of in a different category.
Yes.
You need to know well in advance what's happening there. And last year, I thought we had a discussion with them in which they said they were gonna have a permitted event. I don't know, maybe they said it was every Saturday until 8 o'clock. I believe they agreed with us a year ago, or when we had that meeting, that special meeting, when I spoke to them, they agreed that 8 o'clock was a reasonable hour to end the events.
But that does nothing for us. You
No,
know,
I understand that. No, but you have a different issue, and what we need to do is actually get the full schedule of events so that you can also be aware of what's going on.
and the DEP is not doing their job of enforcing the noise code. I mean, 85 decibels for extended periods of time. And he keeps talking about, you know, lesser decibel levels of other noise type issues. This should come right to the top of what they're enforcing. And I'm not hearing that at all from DEP. I'm not hearing like, oh my God, or anything of that sort. You know, he's running us in the same category as lesser noise sources.
The problem was the garden should have been expanded and not have a plaza.
Oh,
They should have
okay.
expanded the garden.
Okay, that's another.
Okay,
That's
Tanya
something.
has-
Oh, I'm sorry, Tanya, go ahead.
Yes, firstly, I wanted to go back to what OC opened us up with, which is I think was essential in terms of how to frame this conversation. It is about respect for your community. This is what this is about. No one should have a problem with people respecting your community. If you want to have a party until 10 or 11 o'clock at night, there are venues for you to rent. Our city streets are not for parties. There are people who have to work. We have nurses and doctors and students who have people who work overnight shifts. We have students who have to study for exams, young kids who have to study. We have people who work who need rest at night because they need sleep or they have to start work at 7 o'clock in the morning. If you want to have a party, our city streets are not for that. And I'm not sure where we get this idea that what is so offensive about 8 o'clock on a weekday when people have to work and study, and 9 o'clock on a weekend. I don't understand what's so offensive about that. And number two, if people don't want to respect someone's ability to study, work, sleep, and do those things, they should pay those people's rent, or they should pay their ability to be somewhere else until this is over. I just don't understand the opposition. And first of all, if there's opposition to the police, that's in the noise code, people. That's what I mean. There needs to be some education about the noise code. It is the police's job, according to the NYC noise code, to enforce music and outdoor, those type of things. That is their job, and that is in the noise code. That is not something that activists are making up to oppress somebody. That is in the noise code. That's their job, to enforce those sort of things. So I think there needs to be some education about what the noise code is, what it does, and who's responsible, and stop turning this into some activism thing, because that's not what this is. This is about people needing to be able to enjoy the peace of their own environment, places they pay for. And third, I agree with everything you all mentioned. I do agree with Maggie that the 1 week could be very tricky depending on how long in advance you need the information. And people need the information, ma'am, because they live there and they have lives and they have rent to pay and they have things to do and kids to take care of and newborns to sleep. Yes, they need that information in advance. And no, it is not oppressing anybody to have and get that information. And lastly, only thing I would add as far as this amendment, which I know it would be very tricky and people probably be opposed, I would add that no plazas without a manager should be able to get permits. This community board allowed Audubon Plaza to be approved, and it didn't even have a manager, someone that will work with the community. They still don't have a manager, according to their latest data. They still don't. That should be it. If you don't have if that plaza has no one managing it that could be in communication with the residents, then no, that plaza should be off limits to being able to have events until a manager has been identified and approved. That is just my only friendly recommendation to this resolution. I think is totally reasonable and totally sound. And anybody is opposed to this, I really would like to know, how are you going to take care of the residents that you are preventing from sleeping, working, studying, and convalescing? Since I don't understand it, please explain what your proposal is to help people. Because I had to leave my house and pay thousands of dollars in hotels just to get out of here, and nobody that's opposed to this resolution offered me a dime. Okay, and I am a regular person and I am not rich. No, I do not have a summer home to escape to. Some people do, but not of all do. And the solution is not to tell us not to regulate the plazas because people don't have anywhere to go. The solution is to act like adults, act like good citizens, and act like good community members and respectful of each other, and create some guidelines so that everybody is on the same page. That's all I have to say. It's just I'm just trying to understand the opposition.
Yeah. Okay. I think we all know where you're coming.
I have a question.
Where you're coming from. Raymond.
Has there been any anybody in charge of the bids, the business improvement district, like the actual businesses, to give them, have that conversation about noise?
Well, the bids are not really involved with, as far as I know, I don't think they're involved with any. I don't think they're involved with any of the plazas.
Something, it would be a great idea for the businesses and NYPD to download that app. It's called NYC Noise, so that they have it on their phones. Everyone has a phone.
Well, they're not going to be the ones that they're not going to be the ones that are going to measure the noise levels.
I'm just saying, like talking directly with the business, where has that conversation? Where can a conversation take place to talk about this?
There were some conversation 5-7 years ago, or maybe longer, on Dyckman Street in establishments. Actually, the NYPD, the 34th precinct, had events. I forgot, maybe Maggie know more about that. I remember events. One of them I went to, speaking to the establishments, and community were invited, and there was a conversation. How can we deal with noise issues? So that happened.
And it needs to continue to happen.
The NYPD, the 34th precinct was the one in charge. They did
the community council meetings.
Well, the commissioner's brother was being paid off by the restaurants, and the commissioner's brother looked like the commissioner, and he was being paid off, and it was a whole.
All right, let's not go there.
Okay, listen, I'm wondering.
But the NYPD is at fault, and I hope that you can get to the bottom of it. And I agree with Tanya that it's extremely disappointing that the Public Service Committee seems to be in the pocket of the NYPD.
Well, I wouldn't say that at all, but that's not. I don't think that's what's happening here. They're coming from a different attitude, a different perspective completely, which I can somewhat understand. They don't want to see this turned into some kind of punitive situation. They don't want to see people criminalized. They don't.
Steve, I'm being tortured. What about me being tortured?
No,
what about the
understand.
residents who are living there? I don't care. They are breaking the law. They are disregarding the rules that are set in place so everyone can live peacefully as a community. I am a Black woman. I am tired of people misusing these things so they can for political gain. I am a Black woman, and no, I do not care about the cultural rights to disturb somebody. We are not talking about that. This is about Noise is a public health issue. People need sleep. And as far as the politicians are concerned, they are the ones that put all these plazas in there. And they are the ones who put them and did not even consult with the community about what they were doing. They only consulted with a certain constituency of the community. So if we talk about we need to bring them to the table, ma'am, they were brought to the table numerous times. I brought them to the table last May, and they had every opportunity to talk about this in the deal with the residents who brought all these concerns, and they chose not to.
Yeah.
Tanya, that is exactly the point that I'm trying to make, which is that we need to bring those party back to the table, because this is gonna blow again on our faces. Because a couple of months ago, there was a meeting at the precinct, like a community whatever meeting.
Community council.
The community council. It was horrible. Exactly for the same things that you are mentioning. In my building, which is a building with over 500 residents, and the issue of the noise finally came up to attention in a very angry, we are sick of this matter. I personally tone it down in a way that let's work with our neighbors. Let's help them understand what the rules are and what not. Because one of the things that I found out in going to the park and speaking with those who were creating crazy amount of noise, which is not the case for the plaza, that I can guarantee you, was one, they have no idea that the sound was flowing up, moving up, and therefore getting into our apartment as if we are the one that had the boom boom playing in our bedroom and living room. Then the other thing that they were not aware of, and it mostly because the park department has zero sign at that time in terms of the rules to have music or to have gatherings and all of that. So that is a different situation, and I completely get it from what is happening at the plaza. But I think that part of what we need to work together, so we don't see like the elitist people trying just to have a boring community, but that what we want is to live in community all together, is that we need to bring more people to the table to create a solution that really incorporate and clearly state where we are all coming from, rather than and I think that's what the other committee probably came from, because today I was really surprised when I heard the statement, the plaza as a way to celebrate our culture and all that. And I get it, we want to celebrate, but there is a way to celebrate in community. So how do we get that message across the board to everyone so we can have everyone celebrate whatever they want to celebrate, but also respect the fact that they are in a community in which people work, have small children, and that you have the right to have peace in your own house without being harassed by sound, crazy amplified sound. So all that has to come from enforcement, how those permits are, given, what are exactly the requirements that those permits establish so people can follow those, that there is no way to break those rules. And when those rules are broken, that there is enforcement to come and reinforce. So, and I think it will become, in a way, a cycle of happening and adjusting. I do think that we need to really bring back people to the table, including the NYPD, in also helping people understand when we are doing a noise complaint, how does that look like? I do understand the fear of a noise complaint becoming something else. I get it. Whether we care enough about that or not, it becomes irrelevant, but I do understand the concern that they are carrying. And I think that as members of our community who want to live in peace, we need to do a broader outreach to really put together a resolution that won't be opposed by political views, that won't be opposed by ideological
I don't have
views.
political views. I just want to go to sleep. I don't care about your politics. I don't.
I don't have any politics.
I don't care about it. I just want to go to sleep. And I want to be able to get up early and go to work and be rested. And I want the children to be able to study. And I want our elderly to be able to sleep. I want our veterans to not be given PTSD flashbacks from fireworks and all these other crazy sounds from muff. I want peace in the community. I just don't know what you want. What do you want? You want us to just have this unregulated, as if we have not tried to brought these people together. We've been bringing these people together for 6 years at least to bring these people together. And I'm not even paid to do that, ma'am.
Tanya,
I'm not
please.
even paid.
Tanya, please.
That could be a resolution that we can build from here on, meaning we take this resolution, we try to pass it to the whole board, obviously, not, whatever it is, we have to pass it, and then, in my view, and then we can go back, as we sometimes do, go back to resolution, you know what? A year from now, I don't think this applied to us anymore, let's change it and revise the resolution, which we did in the past in different resolutions, and we can do it with this one. So nothing is set in stone here. I look at that as a start. I'm not 100% happy. You are not 100% happy. You are not 100%. It just, we are talking about compromising here, right? So I would say we start with this and we can revisit whenever we want to revisit it.
What I'm trying to figure out is this compromise with enforcing law.
I know, because if it's a law, then there shouldn't be any compromise, right? I get it, but Maggie, we have to start somewhere, and I think as maybe this is not something that, you would add more things to that reso or drop different things. We need to start somewhere, and this is our starting point. This is how I look at that. That's my 2 cents. I think I scared a few people. Say
No,
something.
actually, no, I think that's actually a good way to land the plane. You landed the plane.
Yeah. Actually, part of the problem is the application doesn't state the decibel level limit.
That's a different issue. We're not,
No, but then how could-
I understand. So this is your compromise, that we're gonna pass this without the specification about this decibel in application. That will be your compromise, okay?
But don't you think that's essential so people have?
Like everyone else have their own essential thing they want in the
You can have their
resolution.
community events and sleep.
I'm not
I'm
against
not having any community event. I actually don't host community events.
Linda, I'm saying.
I really hate the fact that I have to sometimes open my bedroom window, I yell out of the window, shut up! I actually hate that.
Right, yeah.
So there may need to be another resolution about parks and other noise issues related to music that are not
close to buildings.
They're not,
residential
I don't,
buildings.
but we have to start somewhere. And the starting point is just like, okay, you want the decibel, you didn't get it here. You know what? Maybe we will revise it in next year. I don't know.
Well, maybe
But we have to start.
Maybe we can still add it. It's not such a
Steve?
it's not such a critical issue.
That's not.
Yeah. The thing that concerns me at the moment is whether or not referencing the precincts is gonna jettison this resolution.
Can we get the person to, the precinct, no, we can't get the precinct opinion because that will freak out some people. But, I see, why is this negative?
I don't know.
Why?
try?
I don't know. I
The
didn't.
precinct is
Can you
negative.
try
Yeah.
this?
Can you explain?
Over-police the community.
Exactly, that's why it is, that's how
see it as
people see it.
over-police in the community, because businesses are struggling.
Mhm.
And if you sit there, and it could be a chain of events. So for instance, you say they're hit with a fine, and then they don't even have the money for that fine. Then it turns into a second fine. Yes, they did put something in place where you can get the fine down, but if they were struggling to begin with, they need the business.
But
Well, they should know that it's against the law, but nobody is telling them, nobody is enforcing anything, so they get away with it. They've been breaking every law known to man since they got in there. In the middle of the pandemic, they crammed tables and chairs with people in there. That was illegal. They did it for months until SLA shut them down. Okay? They are scofflaws. And us doing nothing or squabbling amongst ourselves is exactly what they want, because all they care about is their bottom line. What about the other restaurants in the rest of Inwood and Washington Heights? They don't get this special treatment.
Which is what the businesses
Yeah.
are
Yeah.
on.
no,
That's how they feel.
Yeah, but
Right.
yeah.
I go to the businesses myself, and yes, I understand they are using, we have a permit. okay, who's checking that if it's 2 o'clock in the morning? I get that. But from their perspective, they see it as over policing. And
Yeah.
yes, we do understand that this is going to increase, being that spring is coming to an end and summer is approaching. Yes.
No, but, it's the over policing thing is I think.
That is the issue.
Yeah,
Is the actual
this is
issue.
the issue that I think cropped up last night. I didn't join that meeting, maybe I should have, but, I think, and that's not from the businesses, that's just from people on our own board who are concerned about the over policing issue. So,
And it's just not, it's over policing in already minority community of color,
Right,
and what that
right,
represents.
right.
That is the point that I'm trying to make.
yes.
I know Tanya. It's mixed community.
But with that, here,
Okay, so I tell you,
rules.
my suggestion is that
Okay.
with this resolve clause,
Which one of them?
the second one, that, rather than mention NYPD, DOT or DEP, that we just say, we just do something neutral that says, yes,
City agencies.
yes, exactly, that we call upon the appropriate agencies, to do,
I mean, it could be the fire department,
Well,
because,
whatever.
fire departments do
well,
close
but
down
it-
parties as well.
but, without specifying who should do it, we
The
just.
fire department cannot break up.
No,
They are not authorized.
No, we're not,
Call upon,
just say the appropriate agencies, and it'll have to fall to them to decide who should handle any particular issue.
Yeah.
You call 311 and then it gets.
Right, right, you call through, exactly, you call 311 and it gets routed to the appropriate agency. So, because mentioning NYPD just seems to trigger something, so why not just say the appropriate city agencies?
city.
Darling?
Yeah, absolutely.
So if we were to change that language to say appropriate city agencies, would you find that to be acceptable?
Where are we, I'm sorry.
The resolve.
The-
The result.
The one in the middle that's resolved community board 12 calls upon, currently says what NYPD,
Calls upon NYPD,
the DOT and DEP, instead of mentioning any particular agencies, just say the appropriate city agencies.
We can
I
send a
mean,
social worker. I'm sorry, I'm being sarcastic. I apologize, Steve. I'm gonna shut up. That was meant to be sarcastic. We send a social worker.
Do you want to say that?
Darlie, what do you think?
Yes, absolutely. It's exactly the point that Crystal just put out. I know that I personally would love to say it is the law. It is the law,
Right.
and as Tanya has said before, if you break it, you pay for breaking the law.
Okay,
But by the same token, us calling upon policing the
Right.
neighborhood,
Right.
it just, I
well,
don't feel comfortable with that.
that's why I want to change the language.
Yes, we can change it to the appropriate city agencies, and at the end, it's gonna be NYPD anyway, but at least we are not calling into NYPD to showing up.
Exactly.
That waters it down and it allows all the agencies to
It
talk to
doesn't.
each other.
All right.
That you water it
Yeah.
down and
Okay, but
something about.
but I tell you, in the interest of trying to get this resolution passed and at least making some headway on this issue, I think it's something we can, I think it's something, I think it's something we can do, and in the end, the appropriate city agencies are gonna have to take the corrective action.
That's, okay.
All right, so with that change, and I want to add this other thing that Rita's brought up about having the permit specify the allowable decibel limits.
But wait a minute, isn't it already specified the allowable decibel limit?
Charles said it's not,
Well, actually, I don't know that Charles really knew. Tanya said that with the permit she obtained, it was specified.
just one instance. She.
So,
But, so should,
not all
Well-
permits are,
well, actually, we don't seem to know for sure on this point.
So just add it on.
Yeah, so, something, so maybe we won't add it, because we're not sure on that point. Okay, all right, so,
Don't you
I'm with-
want them to have certain strict decibel limits on permits?
Yeah, but we're gonna have to, we're gonna have to do some research to specify whether they do or not, because Tanya's saying that the permit she obtained did have a limit.
Well, that's a small
Can
sample.
I, I'm still here. That, the permits in the it's a public safety law on broadcasting in public. It's specified that the decibel limits need to be on the permit.
Okay.
And the
Okay, so
hours.
it's already in the book.
Okay, and so, and are those decibel limits, are they specified in the noise code?
No, well, no,
Right.
that's up to it's in the public safety law. The decibel limits aren't specified. It depends on where they're issuing the permit. It could be Staten Island or it could be Inwood,
Well, what is the decibel
that's
limit?
up to it's up to the NYPD, but the hours are limited and it's in the public safety law.
What's the decibel limit on permits?
I do not think the public safety law specifies a limit.
That's ridiculous.
Right.
Well, that's the law. I'm just saying
We have to change the law.
the permit needs to specify the decibel limit.
Okay, but you're saying that's already in the law, that whatever
In
permits
the
they issue.
public safety law.
Yeah, they have to have the decibel limits, so,
So if it's
okay.
okay, the law, why are we specifying it?
Well, we're not, because it's already in the law. Okay,
Yeah.
okay, all right, very good. Okay, so is there a motion on this resolution?
I move to approve the resolution on regulation of noise at public plaza with the amendment.
Okay. Very
No,
good.
there's a way to say them.
As amended.
As amended, thank
Okay.
you.
All right, is there a second?
Wait.
Okay.
So sorry. There is a bullet point after the last result. I'm so sorry. The last bullet point where it said required no, that one. It's the the third one. Limit permit amplify sound at public plazas event to a maximum of 4 consecutive hours per day. I think it's important to establish some sense of those 4 consecutive hours per day because, I don't know, 10 p.m. to 2 a.m. That's also
No, because because the event can't go beyond 8 p.m. on weekdays or 9 p.m. on weekends.
Yes.
That's
So-
the,
so-
okay, that's on the second
Yeah.
bullet point right
Yeah.
after that.
Right.
Okay, we're in the middle of
What we need, we
Just
need
a
a
point of
second.
information, it's okay to have a 4-hour-long exceedance of 85 decibels.
That's the
No, that would never be allowed. So.
Okay, there's a motion on the
wait,
floor.
But is there a second on the motion?
Second.
I think we have to change the second bullet point on that. I'm sorry, the back-to-back events thing.
Okay, there is already a motion on the floor.
Okay, all right.
That was really a very strong point that came out when we had the public hearing, that people were upset that on weekends, that on both Saturdays and Sundays, they had no chance to relax because there was amplified sound on both days. So people made a particular point of saying, could we at least have one day where we don't have amplified sound? Now, that doesn't mean there can't be an event in the public plaza. It just means that the event should not have amplified sound. So people, Okay, all right, so, right.
Okay.
All right, so all those voting in favor of this resolution, please indicate by raising your hands.
I can go.
No, not yet. All those voting no? All those abstaining? All right, are the members of the board?
Are
No,
there any other members?
no. Members of the public who wish to vote can actually vote at this point. You can vote by indicating, you can vote
Raise your
yes.
hand.
You can vote
You
yes by
can't
raising
see
your hand.
Maggie. You have to
No,
vote
not you.
clear.
1, 2,
You have to
got rid of this thing, yeah.
get rid of it. Okay.
All right, so that's 3, 4.
Participants raise hands.
Once like,
If people can raise their hand using the,
Yes,
the
here,
motion thing, so you can get rid of that, or just see it on the
Share,
screen.
okay.
so I got 3 here.
3.
And Maggie, are you voting?
No, but
did,
Tanya
here.
raised her hand.
She's raising
Yes.
her hand.
Oh,
You know, if you click OK on
oh,
that.
no,
thing,
oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, okay, 3 here.
And then 1 panelist.
And Tanya's 4. Okay, 4. Any members of the public voting no, please raise your hands. Members of the public abstaining. All right, well, there are definitely members of the public who are not voting, so,
Yes.
I just raised my hand.
What's that?
I just abstained, my hand is up.
Okay, you're abstaining. Okay,
Like our house in a hospital, so I'm just sirens all day.
okay, all right, let's move on. We still have, we still have a couple more items on the agenda. More than a couple. So our health department representative has gone home or is put it.
I think she said she had to go home.
All right, all right, she apologizes. I can't stay in the meeting. I will send my updates to Steve tomorrow with the links for respiratory illness data, measles cases, 5 cases as of May the 1st. There was a recent travel-related case of an unvaccinated adult, but no secondary exposure cases have been reported from this case. Vaccination remains key to prevention. No rabies cases have been had. Data was updated as of April 15th. Have a wonderful evening. Okay, report from New York Presbyterian, Julio.
Well, just to say, great presentation from Chris. I think that, what he's doing looks like it's aligned with our CHART program, and I will certainly have a further discussion with that, see how we could partner with him. Just wanted to update you that the United Healthcare negotiations have been extended to May 31st for resolution, and the Ambler Health, we're hopefully resolve that soon. So that's really it.
I'm sorry, what is the story with Emblem Health?
So Emblem Health is still, the discussions are still taking place. They're extended every other day, and we expect and hopefully that the resolution will come soon.
And United Healthcare was extended until May 31st?
Extended to the end of the month, I guess, May 31st, or, 31st.
Okay, and there is no deadline on Emblem Health?
No.
Okay, anything else?
That's it.
All right, thank you. Diego, are you still with us?
Good evening.
Yes, Diego, go ahead.
Good evening, everyone. So this is my report, Columbus report. So research and innovation highlights. I'll just go through it quickly. So stress, BMI, and hormones linked to earlier puberty in girls. So researchers at Columbia University Women's School of Public Health found that higher levels of certain hormones combined with higher stress and BMI were linked to earlier puberty in girls. Girls with elevated stress-related hormones, higher BMI, and higher stress began puberty about 7 months earlier than their peers. The findings suggest that puberty timing is influenced by more than estrogen and body size alone. Stress and other hormones may also play an important role. This matters because early puberty can affect long-term health, including future breast cancer risk. It also points to the importance of supporting healthy routines, stress reduction, and early prevention efforts for children and families. A clinical research spotlight, brain circuitry in anorexia nervosa. So Columbia psychologist Dr. Alexandra Murator, her research will study whether a safe, non-invasive brain stimulation treatment called RTMS can help change brain activity linked to restrictive eating behaviors. So by better understanding the brain circuits involved in anorexia, researchers hope to develop more effective and targeted treatments. This work could open the door to new options for patients and families affected by a difficult and often chronic illness. More sensitive cell therapy may be a hit against solid cancers. So Columbia researchers Michelle Seidelin, I'm so sorry if I butchered that name, and Dr. Sophie Hanina from the Columbia Initiative in Cell Engineering and Therapy, CSET, are developing a new cell therapy that may help treat solid tumors that have been difficult to target with CAR T therapy. So CAR T cell therapy has had limited success against solid tumors, which make up most cancers. HIT cell therapy can detect cancer cells with very low levels of a target molecule called CD70. So in mouse studies, CD70 directed HIT cells completely eliminated kidney, pancreatic, and ovarian tumors while avoiding healthy cells. This research could lead to more precise and effective treatments for patients with solid tumors, including cancers that are currently difficult to treat. And then opportunities to engage. So the Community Member Opportunity Institutional Review Board, IRB. So CYMC is seeking a community member to serve on the Institutional Review Board, which ensures that research involving human participants is conducted ethically and safeguards participant rights and welfare. We are looking for a non-scientific, unaffiliated individual, so no affiliation with Columbia University and no immediate family affiliation, who can represent the community perspective. No prior experience is required. Selected individuals may observe meetings prior to committing and will receive onboarding training and ongoing support. And if anyone is interested, or if you'd like to recommend somebody, please contact Senja Harris, Vice President for Community President Partnerships Engagement at acp@cumc.columbia.edu.
All right, so this is very important because this is an issue that that this committee has brought up in the past about how we need to have community representation, people who are not affiliated with the medical center, serving on these institutional review boards, which oversee all of the research projects that go on at the medical center. This is really essential. That we need to have people serving on these boards on behalf of the community. Now, did you mention that this is a particular IRB that deals with specific matters?
No.
Okay. All right. So we need to help you get the word out about this. So this is in the report that did you already send me the report?
Yeah, I did. I sent to you early today, but I'll resend it to you tomorrow as well.
Okay, all right. Yeah, we need to. I'm going to announce this at the community board meeting, but we need to get the word out so that every one of these institutional review boards should have. In fact, I think it's legally required. I think you have to have a community representative on each one of them. So we need to fill that position as soon as possible.
Okay.
Richard?
Mm-hmm.
The emails that come out of the community board office have usually have a series of announcements, community events, etc. This would fit quite well there.
Right. Yeah, I'll tell you, very good. Yeah.
It's a staff.
Yes, I'll tell them to post it there as well. Okay, I'm sorry. Go ahead, Diego.
That's okay. So moving forward, the Project Medical Education, PME. So each year CYMC hosts Project Medical Education. It's a full-day immersive program that gives participants a behind-the-scenes look at medical education and the daily operations of an academic medical center. This is designed for community stakeholders. PME provides an in-depth understanding of CYMC's impact, featuring direct insights from leadership on the challenges and opportunities in advancing education, research, patient care, and community service. And this is held right here on our Washington Heights campus. The program highlights groundbreaking medical research and innovation, showcasing CYMC's role at the forefront of healthcare and investments. And if you're interested in joining us this summer, please reach out to the Office of Academic and Community Partnerships at acp@cumc.columbia.edu.
Okay, well, I would like to have Darley and Crystal join in that. This is a one-day. It's an absolutely great experience. A complete day of going around to all of the different units within the medical center.
Oh yeah, that's great.
And seeing seeing what they do and how they function.
Yeah, that's a
and-
whole day.
yeah,
It's awesome.
Yeah, do you have a date Diego?
No date as of yet, but we'll announce it very soon.
But is it usually in July or August?
Yeah, it's usually in July and August. So we'll see if we're planning to do it hopefully in July, but if not, we'll keep you updated as well.
Okay, well, tell them we have, would the two of you be able to give a full date to this?
It's depending on the day, it's
Depending on the day.
absolutely.
Okay, so we have two possible applicants for that.
Okay, excellent.
Okay.
And then just to summarize everything else, so upcoming events and key dates. So we have the perinatal and infant health on May 13th from 9:30 a.m. to 11 a.m. at the 127 West 127th Street. So North Manhattan Perinatal Partnership, NMPP, and Columbia University Urban Medical Center Community Chat invites the community to talk and learn about perinatal health topics, including prenatal and infant nutrition and postnatal care. For any questions, please call 212-665-2600, extension 323. Connecting through art. This is a May 18th event from 2 p.m. to 3:30 p.m. Via Zoom. So this is a free creative arts program designed specifically for people with Parkinson's disease and their care partners. No art experience is needed. Just a willingness to create a share in community. To register, please email Erica Ottoman at era2142@cumc.columbia.edu. The deadline to register is May 11th. Clinical Trials Day Fair. This will be hosted on May 21st from 12 p.m. to 4 p.m. at the Vivian and Seymour Milstein Family Heart Center at 173 Washington Avenue. This half-day health fair will bring together the clinical research community to recognize the behind-the-scenes workforce and partnerships that sustain our clinical research enterprise, including research staff, nurses, healthcare providers, support services, and most importantly, the patients and caregivers. I also, in the report, I provided a link to RSVP. Cerebral Palsy Community Day. This will be on June.
This last thing in the clinical research day?
Clinical Trials Day Fair.
What date is that?
May 21st from 12 p.m. to 4 p.m. I sent you a link in the report with the RSVP link.
May 21st?
That is correct.
Okay, I'd like to have somebody from the committee go there.
I'm sorry, what's the event?
It's a clinical research.
Clinical Trials Day Fair. So it's again, I'll just go quickly. Behind the scenes workforce and partnerships that sustain our clinical research enterprise. So you'll see research staff, nurses, healthcare providers, support services, and more.
What date?
May 21st.
From 12 p.m. to 4 p.m.
Yeah. Is that a weekday? Yeah.
From 12 to
Thursday.
It's a Thursday, yeah.
From 12 to 5, you said?
4.
12 to 4.
Okay, can you go?
Potentially, yes.
Okay, great. Okay.
But I'm last minute.
Okay. See. All right, and
So I
I'm
need to know where, when, and
okay. Well, it'll be in the handout that he sends us. It's at the Milstein Heart Center at 165th Street. Diego.
Yes. So our Cerebral Palsy Community Day. This is on June 6th from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m., which will be on Haven Plaza, 710 West 168th Street. So this is a community event for summer celebration for the fun, food, and friendship. Meet the team that oversees the Cerebral Center, explore community resources, and enjoy music, health screenings, and adaptive sports and wellness activities. Select the buy-in for the CP community. And I also provided the RSVP link there. Heat Health, Get Summer Ready. This is a June 9th event from 9 a.m. to 12 p.m. at the 394 Washington Avenue. Learn the effects of heat on the body, how to protect yourself from the sun, and hands-on first aid and wound care demonstration at the Columbia Community Partnership for Health. I also provided an RSVP link, but you can also call 646-967-2276 for any questions or if you'd like to RSVP. Arts and Minds Free Art Workshop Series. This is every Thursday from 1:30 p.m. to 3:15 also at 394 Washington Avenue. So this is workshops for individuals with memory loss and their care partners, combining art discussion and creative expression. And that's it for my report.
All right, well, that's pretty good. Thank you. There was a question I had posed to you when I emailed you about
The two
Columbia's
locations.
about the 3 different locations, Columbia's plans for the District Health Center at 168th Street, the status of the new building, I guess, on Broadway between 169th and 170th. And there's a piece of property that I understand Columbia acquired on the east side of Broadway, northeast corner at 218th Street. Is there anything, can you tell us anything about those 3 things?
So now there's the District Health Center. It's operated by the New York City Department of Health and Mental Hygiene, correct?
At the moment, but I understand that Columbia is going to be taking it over.
I don't have any updates on that regarding any takeover discussions. So I will have to circle back to you on that, but we don't have any updates regarding the District Health Center at this time. So and that
And Steve, just to add to what Diego's mentioned, I will look in terms of the hospital and see what relationship there is with regard to this particular property as well.
All right, appreciate that. Thank you.
And then the other one by Bakersfield.
Yes.
There are no plans at this time for that property.
Okay, but you did in fact acquire that property?
I spoke with Sandra and she said that there are no updates, so I think we have.
Sorry, across the street?
On the other side of Broadway from the Campbell's Sports Center.
Right.
Was that a car? Was it?
It used
the
to
Twin
be
Donut location?
No, it's not the Twin Donut. It's it might have been a car wash.
No.
No?
It was a car repair shop.
Yeah, it was a car.
Many years ago. It was owned by someplace in Texas.
I don't know.
And now, yes, because they fence it. It's Columbia's.
Yeah.
The reason why, that's something we should ask. Maybe Diego, you can come back to us with an answer. My understanding that the reason why they demolished the building and fence it is because there was a deadline that if Columbia wouldn't do that by a certain time, they would lose a grant. So what they do, they start construction, they demolish the existing building, and now they're gonna let it sit for I don't know how many years.
Okay, I'll definitely look into and get back to you on that.
Now, this is not the only one with the same, it's anything to do with grants. If you get a grant from, I don't know who gave the grant, maybe Department of Health, then there is a deadline to start construction, and demolishing a building and fencing around it is considered part of the construction. So now this lot can sit there for 20 years and they get the grant and nothing is built.
Okay, Diego, talk to Sandra about this. Let's get some more information.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah, of course. Thank you so much.
And is there any news about the building that's to be constructed? I understand now it's going to be I think handled by Columbia. It's owned. The property is owned by NYP, but the building will be put up by Columbia at Broadway. Broadway between 169th and 170th.
So Steve, that is just to not, and Diego could probably add more to that, but just to let you know, I mean, originally that was a hospital project, and after COVID hit, we stopped the building. The area was demolished, and the idea was that we would demolish it. Columbia University would then build what we would call student housing at that site, and the hospital managing and controlling the ground floor, which were the local small business retail space. They have now gone back and sort of talking between the hospital and Columbia to see what the site is going to look like and how and when it will be developed. And so again, that is more subject to sort of finding out and seeing what the plans are going forward, because there are some sort of monkey wrenches in that. So we'll get some more details on that for next meeting.
Okay, so you're saying there is no decision at this point as to whether the building will be developed by Columbia or the hospital?
Yeah, I think we've gone back and forth at this point,
Okay.
after there was slated that Columbia would do.
Okay, so we're not sure at this point. It's not
Right.
confirmed. Okay, and Diego, let me give you just one more thing, which I also sent over to Sandra some weeks ago. There's been some reports. I forget where we first saw it, but now most recently on some news site called YIMBY, YMBY.
Yes,
There's
in
a
my backyard.
yes in my backyard, right? As opposed to NIMBY, not in my backyard. So this is a pro real estate a news site, and they're reporting that there's going to be a new building on 165th Street. I think maybe 28 stories, and this is supposed to be student housing developed in conjunction with Columbia. But when I sent this over to Sandra, when it came out in some other on some other news site, Sandra said that's not true. Columbia has nothing to do with that site, and that the student housing that you're planning for would go over on Broadway between 169 and 170th. But now that seems to be up in the air too. So I'm going to send you over this other story from YIMBY, and maybe now there's some truth to that story. I don't know.
Send over everything you have regarding that, because I did look into what you sent, and it's only one article, but I couldn't find anything else online regarding that location. But yeah,
did I already send this one over to you?
I'm not sure if you're talking about like a new article that came out on a different website or a different new. But if it is the same, then yeah, then I did show that to Sandra. She said that then whatever she said, that's the only update I have for that. Like it's
Okay,
not.
but is that the one I sent a few weeks back?
If I'm recalling, if it's the same article, then yeah, then I think we're talking about the same one.
Okay, well, it's the same building, but I think it's now a different article. I'll send it to you tomorrow.
Okay, yes, please send it over.
Okay.
The Department of Education involved, the State Department of
No,
Education involved in this lot that you're saying 28 building, 28,
Not that I know of, no. There was no reference to it.
okay.
Steve,
Yeah,
just to see if we're all talking about the same thing, I just did a quick look at the YIMBY website and a
yeah.
Google search with this. This is talking about a building east of Amsterdam,
Yes,
just to clarify.
I think it's just west of Edgecombe Avenue.
No disagreements, just the way I heard the discussion, I thought it was being talked about
No,
within the core campus.
no, it says like 473,
467.
467 West 165th Street. Yeah, it's
But I think, isn't that the building that's the parking lot owned by I forgot his name, who has the Edge Hotel?
yes,
Right.
yes, yeah, that's the site.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
that's a private developer.
Yes, but he's saying that he's building it for Columbia students.
Well, he also built the hotel for hospital visitors, and hasn't worked out as well either, though. So
Yeah. So this may just be his selling point or something. Why he may have no you seem to be saying maybe he has no real relationship with the medical center, but he's just using that as a pretext for why he's doing this project.
Well, I think as a developer, he may see that there is a need for that type of accommodations in the community.
Right.
That's
Right.
what he's aiming for.
Right. All right. Yeah, that's a fair way to put it. Okay, very good. Okay, thank you. Okay, next on the agenda. Thank you, Diego.
Thank you all. Have a good evening.
Okay, take care. Thanks for staying with us. Mara Lady, are you still with us? Oh my God.
But Elizabeth was the one that was joined the Zoom. Let me call her. She said that she's going to join because she's the one that knows more.
I haven't seen you in so long, I didn't recognize you.
Don't worry.
Interesting.
Okay, David. Okay, I will leave it. It's in the Zoom, but she said that she doesn't have access. So that you.
Oh, okay, one second. Okay, she's the other one here. Because I have someone else here,
You did try to include her and.
Yeah, that's
giving us
why
a meeting and
it's because she is with my son, so yeah, allow. Now you can speak, Elizabeth. And thank you.
Okay.
Have more information than me.
Hello, everyone. Hold
Okay,
on, give me 1 second.
well, tell me her name, Elizabeth?
Elizabeth Reyes.
Regis, R-E-G-I-S.
Yes, R-E-Y-E-S.
Oh, Reyes. And then what is her title?
She's the toxic campaign coordinator. That what it is, Lee? Oh, she's a.
I'm the hi, can you hear me?
Yes. Yeah,
Okay.
yes.
I'm the Toxics Policy Campaigns Coordinator at We Act for Environmental Justice.
Toxics Policy Campaign Coordinator.
Yes, yes, sir.
Okay, that's a heck of a title. Very
It
good.
is. It's really long.
No, it's it's a toxics policy. Okay, it should say maybe anti-toxics. Okay, go ahead.
Oh,
You're talking to us today about the Beauty Justice Act that's pending in Albany. There's legislation in Albany that you want us to support?
yes, and from my understanding, I think Mighty Lady or someone else on our team has given you all a presentation on this bill in a previous year, and I think that you all signed a resolution in support.
No, we were planning to, and I forget the name of the woman who gave the presentation. She's no longer with WEAC.
Sophia Buda.
No.
Micaela.
Michaela
Martinez.
Yes, Michaela. Yeah, but she's no longer with WEAC, right? Yeah, she gave us a very good presentation, and it was at the tail end of the legislative session at that point. So we said, well, come, let us know when the legislation is reintroduced, so that we can support the new bills. But we didn't, maybe at that point she left WEAC, so we didn't hear from her. But now we know that these bills have been reintroduced, and we have the new numbers, S2057A and in the Senate, and 2054A in the Assembly.
Precisely. And I can give like a little bit of overview and background for people who might not remember that presentation.
Yeah, because our membership has changed, and many of our members right now were not present for that previous presentation.
Got it. Okay. Sorry?
Yeah, no, go ahead, please.
So the Beauty Justice Act is a bill that would essentially ban some of the most toxic chemicals that are in all of our personal care products. And what I mean by personal care products, those are products that we use in our everyday lives, either to beautify, to cleanse, anything really that we're putting on our body. So think of things like your hair products, the products that you put on your skin, cosmetics, makeup, even like hair and some and like the hair that you buy at the beauty salon is covered under this bill. And why we're advocating for it is because all of these toxics that are on there, like lead, formaldehyde, parabens, siloxanes, phthalates, these are all ingredients that have been studied over and over again, and they're known endocrine disruptors. A lot of them are known carcinogens. They cause developmental delays, they cause hormonal problems. They're really harmful, and they are ingredients that have been phased out by so many different countries and so many different places. For example, like here in the United States, we only ban around 11 of the most toxic chemicals. But if you go over to Europe, they ban over like 2,000 of them. And so the same products that are being sold here in the United States that have these harmful toxins are being sold in other countries without them. So that's to say that there are already so many like alternatives, and like these formulations already exist. It's just that here companies unfortunately are not held responsible to their consumers and for protecting the health of their consumers. And so that's really why we've been advocating for this bill. It's additionally an environmental justice problem. A lot of the toxic chemicals that are found in all of these products are mainly found in products that are sold and marketed to low-income people and people of color. And yeah, it's a remarkable piece of legislation because not only will it be helping New Yorkers, it'll actually change the market because New York is so big of a market that products that are being sold here are eventually gonna, like, companies are gonna reformulate their products and sell it everywhere else in the country, even if those states haven't passed legislations like this, because it's like it's not feasible for them to create, like, make products for one state and then some for another, right?
Right, right.
And what else? There, we in the past, it's been so difficult to really pass this bill because industry spends millions and millions of dollars lobbying against us and, really spreading a lot of misinformation, like the fact that they are really trying to convince legislators that there will be empty store shelves if we just ban these products. And the thing is that we're not banning products, we're just trying to make them safer where safer alternatives already exist. And research has shown time and time again that when we ban toxic chemicals from personal care products, the prices don't actually change. Like when we got rid of 1,4-dioxanes from like detergents and Tides, nobody noticed a different, like nobody noticed that there was a change in the formulation. It was just from one day to the next, the market just responds because they also don't want to lose money. But that's just a scary tactic that they give to legislators to try and, scare them. Also, the affordability aspect, there's so much research that shows that it would actually make a lot of products more affordable. And a lot of the products that are I have a one pager that I can share with you all, but it kind of shares how like the same product that is being sold here in the United States and the same product that is being sold in France, the one in the United States is toxic and it's 4 times more expensive than the one that's being sold in Europe. So they have more affordable products and they're also a lot safer for you.
And you're talking now about products that are manufactured by the same companies?
Yes, the exact same product, the exact same. There's like I was just creating a one pager on this L'Oreal hairspray, which here in the US it's like, yeah, it's 4 times more expensive and it has toxic chemicals. And there's also greenwashing because it'll have like on the label like unscented, which is just like a word that makes people think that there's no fragrance in their products. But actually, if you turn the label, unscented is another, they add they add fragrances to make it unscented. So it's greenwashing, it's lying, it's deception. And they can and unfortunately, they get away with that. And the only way to hold them accountable is to pass legislation like this. And so, yeah, we would really appreciate your support in this. We've been advocating. It actually passed the Senate, and so the majority of our work remains in the Assembly.
Oh.
You know, sorry?
Yeah, but not, also Al Taylor? Okay, all right, so we don't have to ask them to co-sponsor it. So, and it passed to the state Senate in this current session?
Yes, it passed
Okay.
on Earth Day on the 21st.
Oh, okay.
22nd.
All right, so we just need to direct it at the Assembly Speaker and to the Governor.
Yes.
All right, well, that's progress. That's good. That's good news.
Yes.
Richard, you have a question?
No, offer a motion to move this.
Well, I'm sorry, I didn't call upon you to do that.
In that case, I'll raise my hand.
Well, I want to see if Elizabeth is finished. Can we give her, can we just make sure that she's finished?
But we have a motion.
But Elizabeth,
Don't debate this, just ask her if she's finished.
Yeah, Elizabeth, are you finished?
Yeah, if you all have
Okay.
any questions, I can answer anything in
No,
specific.
no, you did such a good job, Elizabeth.
Second that.
You did such a good job. There are no questions.
Yay.
That motion here,
No, one part is good enough.
motion to support the legislation,
Yes,
motion to, and the second part of this is to endorse WEAC's Beauty Justice campaign on an ongoing basis. And the intent of that is to set up our ability to coordinate and be involved in the communication.
Two separate things.
Well, we can incorporate it, we can include it in the same. OC, you seconded?
Yes, no,
No?
I-
Oh,
Darling.
Darling.
I took my second away.
No more second? Okay, okay, all those voting in favor of this resolution, please raise your hand. So that's 6. That means nobody's voting no, nobody's abstaining. Members of the public who wish to vote, could you indicate by raising your hands?
Peggy.
Hold on, wait, all right, Tanya, you voting?
My hand was for a question.
Oh, you have a question?
Oh,
Yeah, it
you're
was-
still supporting the reso, right?
No, we're
Yeah,
past
yeah,
question.
of course.
Okay,
But,
what's your
it-
question?
Well, it was more of a comment, but it's not just beauty products that they put garbage into. It's food. And
Yeah.
you go to any other European or Canadian country and you don't see all the crap in the food.
Right.
Okay, well, that's a different resolution.
The cancer.
Okay, one,
Worth saying, but not opening a discussion.
one, 2, 3,
We
4.
can't have discussion, we're in the middle of.
Okay, very good. Okay, all right, thank you, Elizabeth, thank you, Marlady. We'll write a resolution. I'm probably gonna have to call you to get some help on that, so be prepared to hear from me.
I will send a draft that Brianna creates so
Oh.
that you can.
There you go.
See.
See?
Wonderful, very good. Okay, we're a business. Okay, very good. Okay, is there,
And Richard is not,
what?
concerned for the aging, thing or?
No, Richard has agreed to, he wanted to postpone it till June,
Okay.
so he's off the agenda. Do we have any old business? Old business?
When is the, just a question?
What?
When is the textile recycling coming back? You know I'm obnoxious about that, right?
Yeah, I'm not,
Saying.
yes.
In a good way.
Yeah, okay, I have to.
Sponsored by Quella?
No, I have to, oh, very good, 2 points. We were supposed to have somebody come here to talk about, funding for spay neuter services.
Leslie, I don't know if she's in, it's funding, are we gonna have to postpone it to next month?
Yeah.
Because it's
late.
very serious and it's late, yeah.
Okay, very good. But postponing it till next month, if you wanna have some input on the city budget,
Right. That's,
cuts it close.
cuts it close?
Yeah, cuts it very close.
Well,
Right.
okay, it's really, making sure that, our, district is being served by, Flatbush Cats that got $500,000 to have spay neuter done for, I think, all New York City, but it's not clear. I'm getting conflicting information about that.
You're talking money that they got in the last budget for the current fiscal year.
But they are going to get another $500,000, maybe more, for more surgeries. I want to make sure, we should make sure
Okay.
that our low-income pet owners are
Okay.
included in it.
All right, so maybe that's something we really need to do once the new budget is adopted and we see whether or not they in fact got that money, and then we can question how it's being used.
They probably will get the money.
I'm
at the point.
No, you want to do it ahead of time, maybe. But how do you do it if they haven't actually? We need to talk to Carmen.
We have to talk, and Sean.
Oh, Sean, we talked to Sean.
Yes, we should absolutely speak to him.
Yeah.
Yes, and definitely Carmen.
Yeah.
But I'm saying,
But Sean
he's
is,
on the budget.
Sean is on the budget negotiating team.
Exactly,
and-
exactly.
as well
And
as
we need
David
them
Tony.
to understand that
Yeah.
it's not clear who is benefiting from those surgeries. If it's only Brooklyn, we have a problem. We
Okay.
get nothing here.
Okay,
And Brooklyn has 3 other low-income clinics to serve low-income pet owners.
okay. You need to write some,
We have 0.
you need to write something up so we can, pass it on to them.
Okay.
Okay, any other new business? Yes,
I just wanted to shed some light to all of our elected officials and them stepping up with the recent fire that we had in our community.
correct.
It did claim 3 lives and 14 were injured, so I just want to bring that shout out there. I do want to keep in mind that even though it's not a state of emergency, this can be tabled for, I guess, for another time, just about hantavirus. It wasn't deemed any emergency yet, but just where things might be in place now that the people that have been on the ship, it's been about 2 weeks now and they are out going back home and things like that. It has been confirmed for Georgia, California, and Arizona, but it is spreading in other areas. So just want to keep in mind, yes.
And there's something else going around called rotavirus, which is apparently, according to the Centers for Disease Control, also reaching high levels.
I did want to also shout out the World Asthma Day, May 5th, 2026. There is
Really, May the 5th?
yes, I'm an advocate, so
Because I ended up in the hospital about a week or so ago because of my asthma problems.
on Saturday.
For asthma.
Yeah, so World Asthma Day. There is a health fair. Oh, sorry, there is a lunch and learn up with brain health activities. They already covered HIV, and there also is another STD that's out. This, if you want free lunch, it's going to be on May 20th. You can RSVP by May 18th. You can call. I'm sorry. Oh. And there's going to be free lunch, so you can call St. Luke AME Church at 212-870-1300. Then there's also May 30th health fair. Come out, show your face, get tested, and things like that.
All right, could you type this up and send it to me so I could include it in the minutes?
Sure. And last but not least, City Parks Foundation, they're looking out for the seniors in April and June. In Woodhull Park, West 218th Street and Indian Road, Tuesdays and Thursdays, either 10 to 11, they're gonna have yoga, or 10 to 12, they're gonna have tennis. And everything else I can send.
Okay, I appreciate your promoting the City Parks Foundation programs. Did you have something?
Yes, but I was realizing that it was more like new business kind of thing. Just to piggyback on the fire that took lives away.
Right.
I want to bring up the construction on the Riverside Driveways viaduct, which DOT is in a fight, well, finally defaulted the contractor, but for the last almost more than a year.
I don't think they actually have defaulted the contractor because I think it's being held up by a lawsuit.
Well, no, there is the lawsuit. They are suing each other, and then the DOT, the city finally decided to default the contractor. So that.
Okay, so maybe that's when the contractor took them to court.
No, they took it to court way before the default. The default just happened a couple of maybe a week or so ago. But the point is that there is a liaison between the DOT and the building, and the liaison sent an email to the building stating that the emergency lane is being blocked by illegal parking, which in a way, yes and no. But the so-called emergency lane actually doesn't exist. There is no single way that any emergency vehicle have access to the building. There are 3 fire hydrants that in order for anything, fire truck, whatever, have access to those, we are talking about action movie plot.
Well, yeah, this was discussed Monday night at the Traffic and Transportation Committee meeting with the representative there from DOT. I was attending that meeting to talk about our resolution. And there was an extended discussion about this.
But I think that we are missing constantly the point of having residents take picture and report to 311 the illegal parking supposedly blocking the entrance to the emergency vehicle. The truth is that whether those cars are parked there or not, there is a full barricade from 158 all the way to 161st or 52nd blocking the entrance to the building. There have been heart attacks in the building. There have been strokes in the building that the ambulance has actually to call back, asking for where is the building, where is the entrance. The equipment has to be partially disassembled in order to go through the made-up sidewalk that DOT had created. There is a bunch of stuff that DOT had left there for no reason because there is nothing happening. And yet this is being discussed at the Transportation Committee, but it's also a major health issue. that we need to address. This is a building with people with disability, with elderly. It's a safety issue. The moment that there is a fire, there is no single way that any fire truck can access a single hydrant, not even one. And, you know, we so far at this building is pure luck, but luck is not a policy, nor is it a plan. We need to start moving things not only with the transportation committee, but also with the health, with this committee, because we need to move things along.
All right,
Okay.
I mean, I understand your point, I live at the other end of the block, but.
You are in River Terrace?
Was it?
Are you in River Terrace?
No, at the very end of the block. I'm in 765, but right where
The bus
where-
make the turn?
yeah, where Riverside Drive cuts inside and you're in River Arts.
Yes.
Yeah. So I don't know how to deal with this on. What I suggested. There is a lawsuit going on. I suggested at this meeting Monday night that people from your building, from the co-op board and others, from people in River Terrace, others join the lawsuit. That they provide affidavits because the judge apparently has given the contractor a stay on the default or whatever. So I said people in the community should provide affidavits to the city to so the judge will explain will understand the impact this is having. This is a very significant issue. I hope they take up on that offer, on that possibility. But I wonder whether the fire department has also entered the picture here. They should be the ones who maybe stress that they would have a problem if you're correct, if they would have a problem gaining access to the fire hydrants and whether the ambulances, if ambulances have been called and they can't get into they don't even know how to get into the building.
My mom has a minor stroke. I have to go downstairs and get the ambulance to direct them how to access the building.
Yeah, but so I wonder whether EMS has also weighed in and spoken to DOT or anybody else about this issue.
Well, it may be the moment on that, given that our new fire commissioner is coming from an emergency EMT background.
Right, exactly. Yeah,
it might be the kind of issue I can't speak for her, obviously.
Yeah.
But it might be the kind of issue that she might grab hold of as a way of highlighting that part of the fire department.
I think it's something like Bonsignore of BONSIGNORE.
Yeah, there might be another U in there somewhere, but that's basically it.
But what department is this?
The fire department.
The fire department.
It's the
The
commissioner of the
fire
fire
department.
Do we have an announcement?
Cracking up that summer.
I mean,
yes.
Okay.
Anything else?
No, that was it.
Okay.
Steve, I was just gonna add one thing to announcements.
Okay, go ahead.
And I will get you the flyer that I believe it's on May 28th with the Washington Heights Inwood Council on Aging, often known by its initials, WICOA, is having its second or third or fourth annual health fair. I'll get the flyer to you.
Okay, do you know where it's being held?
And I don't know for sure, but I believe it's the closed section of Audubon right now.
Oh, okay.
Let me get the flyer just to be able to do it right.
Okay, very good. Okay, Osi.
Yes, okay, ASPCA Spay Neuter Clinic. If you are the lucky person in zip code 10032, it's part of a hospital. Yeah, okay, so May 5th, 7th, and tomorrow is 8th, it's probably, no appointments, but May 15th, 21st, and 26th. Go on their website and try to get on the waiting list. This is specifically for income qualified pet owner run by the ASPCA. So we are really lucky the last few months, but it's 2 months in a row that they're giving services for specifically for that zip code. Yep, not the rest of the district. I mean, there are other zip codes in Manhattan, but
Right,
for us.
but not in
as far
our
as the-
district.
You're not in our, just this one, which is telling. It is telling. So, in any event, just please spread the word. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Anything else? No? Oh my
Steve?
God. What?
Yeah.
Julio?
Yeah, I was gonna say the I'm not sure if Richard just mentioned on the Waikoa conference. That's on May 28th at 9 to 2 p.m. It's gonna be at the Isabella Geriatric Center.
Oh, hold it. That's not the health fair?
See, I've got Julio could do it. I've got the flyer back on my desk. I just don't
Yeah,
have it. right
so we have the Waikoa conference, annual conference, May 28th.
Oh.
9 to 2 p.m. at Isabella Geriatric Center. And
Okay.
we're also working with the folks and Mary Anderson, Community Board 12 Senior Action Committee, I guess, on a senior wellness and safety fair for June 12th. We submitted permit request with DOT, with SAPO. And again, that's for June 12th at the Audubon Plaza, which apparently does not show as a plaza on SAPO's website.
It does not show up as a plaza.
No.
Oh, God.
It's,
Okay.
so it shows up as what?
Actually, I gotta give a report here from Diana Ashley. I told her she could have the night off because we had such a long agenda, and I told her to submit a written report, which she did, and it basically says that something. It says that there were no residents found positive for COVID-19 as of May the 7th. There were no residents with the flu, no residents with RSV, no residents with norovirus, no hospitalizations due to COVID in the last month. So apparently everybody is healthy at the Isabella Geriatric Center.
Yay.
That's contradict the name, but.
Yeah. All right. All right. No other business pending before us. We're going to adjourn this meeting. I know everybody's disappointed by that fact. At 10:35 p.m. Thank you all.
Second.
Good night, everyone.
Okay, good night.
No,
Good night, Rita.
July 15th?
No.
Next meeting, yeah, June 15 with.
No.
See.
No. In July, there'll be I should have mentioned that. In July, there'll be a special meeting with TNT. The next meeting in June, I think, is June the 4th.
Now, thank
The
you
first
for
Thursday.
The fire, Steve, you should ask them if they can, the fire department to come and talk to us, because apparently the next door building is also owned by the same owner where the fire was. And
No,
they have
on Dyker Street.
200
Yeah.
violations.
Yes.
Something with paint, flammable
Yeah.
paint and all kinds of stuff.
Do they know what
They
happened?
locked the.
Do they know what happened, how did it sell? Not yet.
No, I
They
don't
said
know.
down by the mailboxes, I heard, and they had locked the top door. so
To
they
the
wouldn't-
roof,
to the
because
roof.
people are jumping
Oh,
from one
yeah,
roof
they
to
jumped
another.
And they couldn't
that.
access the roof. It was horrible. Oh, my goodness. And they didn't close the doors, so people would run out of the apartments.
That's something that people don't
the
do.
doors.
They need to leave.
Yeah, well,
close the door.
did you read this story about the woman and her mother who died there? Apparently.
They came to visit from Mexico.
No, they apparently were like running up and down trying to figure out how to leave the building. They were caught on the building's cameras that they were they didn't know where to go. They
To go.
so they ended up dying, I think, from smoke inhalation.
Oh.
They got stuck running up and down the stairs.
Okay, guys.